Yo, what is going on, folks in Folklorimas? I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. If you are someone that's been following my channel for some time, double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And do not forget, as this video is playing on, to give the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. All right. Appreciate it. Hope you guys are all having a good night. Hope everybody is healthy. Hope everybody is well. Well, we know by this definition and what we're seeing here on this screen right now, what we're going to be talking about tonight, everybody ain't well. Everybody is not well. What's going on, my Ace Coon Boom, my lead general, Nan? How you doing, sis? Hopefully you are doing all well. I know everybody's still dealing with some things right now, still feeling the effects of my lovely friend of mine, Lethal, being gone, but Nan is stepping up, taking the leadership on this. Got a few people in the house. Roscoe's in the house. My general Nan is in the house. My guy, Mr. Humble Man Dante, is in the house. What's going on, sir? Roscoe, yep, I see you there. All right, let me put this, I'm gonna pop this chat out so I can at least look this way, so I can at least look like I'm kind of looking at you guys a little bit here. Got a lot of folks up in here. I hope you guys are doing well. From Texas, got Nick Kruger in here, related to Freddy Krueger. No, I'm joking. Let's see. Lewis Raves is in the house. Bird Lady Speaks. Hey, sis, she's in the house. Who made me feel small? I had to go buy 5 more guns because of you. No, I'm just kidding. Hope y'all are doing well. Leo Mazzina is in the house. Robin Robin, you don't need to know, is in the house from Cali. Say what now? All right. Say what now is in the house. Says seen this earlier today while my last day to leave. Shaking my head. Insane that she has those Adam Shiva. DS is in the house. What is going on, Mike Ogden? How you doing? Michael is in the house. K Michael, my most unsubscribed subscriber, is in the house. All right, just Steven is in here. I watched the Senate hearing today and I was cracking up how the chick melted down. Everything isn't about race, especially when speaking about life. Man, I'm telling you, man, Dante, I might have to have you get in on here. Andrew Sawyer is in the house. Timothy, Blue God, Kenny Golden from one of my favorite places I lived at, Misery from Missouri, is in here. Joel, okay, Joel says, say what now? I wouldn't tell nobody my name. You good for doing that. I wouldn't do that. I'm excited. I've never caught you live, said Robin. You need to know. I'm going to just start calling you Robin. Never caught me live. We got C. Walker from Canada. Dragon Slayer. There's a familiar name right there. Anthony is in the house. Anthony's in the house. I'm going to check and see if somebody that all right, Arizona. All right, so while you guys are here, if you are trying to get me to see your comment a lot of times, especially when I get the flowing and rolling into this, do me a favor and hit, if you're on a computer or a laptop, when you click the @ sign, start to spell out modern. When you do that, it will bring up my icon. Click on my icon, type out your message, hit enter so it can be highlighted on my side. If you're on a phone or a tablet, the best you can do is put the @ sign, put capital MRM, okay, and then type out your message so I can see it. All right, so we get ready to watch this video together, y'all, and then I'm going to talk about it. So let me see if I can get this video to play, and we'll roll right on into it. So hold tight. Let me see if it's going to play here.
Before I do, I just want to clear one thing up. Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women.
Wait, time out. Let me get back to that. YouTube, y'all not about to try this on me. Nobody, I'm not going for that. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Hold on. I'm not about to let this happen. Y'all already know what's about to happen. YouTube, I ain't going. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to bring that right back up because I already know what they're trying to do here. Okay, it's not going to happen. Give me a second. I got another way of getting around that. Haha, nice try,
Before I
you
do, I just want to clear one thing up. Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
Because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So
pregnant.
you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
What he learned is how crazy she is. Man, I'm sorry. Look, ladies and gentlemen, when she's did y'all hear the stuff that she was just spilling out? What in the actual world? Now, dude did well holding his own. The senator did well holding his own. But to me, what I would not have done, I would not have, when she said, do you think men can get pregnant? He said, no, I don't think they can. I want to say, no, I don't think they can. I said, no, they can't. Flat out, plain and simple. I told you, I'm telling you, y'all, listen. We will see how things go in 2024 and what I might get myself involved into. But y'all can rest assured, I am not going to be the type of person that's going to be any type of for one, I'm not a politician. I will never be a politician. When I get into politics and get some type of, office position, I'm not going to be a politician. I'm not going to be so tell me, and do you think? I'm going to flat out be, girl, you seriously going to sit here and tell me that men can get pregnant? You're seriously sitting there telling me that because I'm asking you questions that's going to lead to no. See what you're doing? You're trying to deflect. Right now, I can sit here and say, oh, you widen your eyes at me. Now you're bestowing violence upon me because your eyes says I'm psychotic. Are you acting psychotic towards me? Are you acting violence towards me? I feel threatened by your wide eyes, ma'am. By you widening your eyes, are you threatening me with those eyes? You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. That's what they're good for doing. She flipped this man words and made it seem like he was trying to bestow some type of violence. And he's and that's how there's a transphobic question. See what I'm saying? That's what I wouldn't do. Time out. What is how is that a transphobic? Because I'm asking you a question. How is that? And can you imagine the kids in the classroom or the college professor? Can you imagine them asking the question and she's like scolding them? There's no way, dude. Not from me. Oh my God. Oh, I cannot. My mentorees is going to be going to college, is going to have a time because I'm going to let them know. First of all, when you go to college, you're paying your money to go. You are paying that teacher. You're paying that professor. So you darn right you're going to be able to ask them questions. What kind of nonsense is this? Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to have anybody in here who wants to try to explain what this woman said, because you will not get me to understand what she said. Let me see. I'm going to test something here real quick. Let me know if you guys can hear this audio. Right now, I'm getting ready to switch some things up right here, and I want you guys to let me know if you can hear this audio. Can you guys hear that? Can't hear that? Okay. I'm just checking. Okay. I was just checking. I didn't know if you guys can hear that. Better yet, you know what? I am going to make it to a way you guys can hear this. Let me try to rig something up here. Let me see if you guys can hear when I play it this way. Can y'all hear this?
I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up
Can you guys hear that? I'm gonna get this bad boy to work. Y'all watch, see here. I'm gonna get it to where you can hear this real good. Come here, speaker. Come here. Okay, let's try it this way now with the speaker right here. Let's try it this way right here. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide.
See, okay, so y'all heard that? Okay, appreciate that. Okay, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know that you hear. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of that right there, because right there, that line that she just used right there is what I want to tell people is what these folks are really, really good for trying to do. How is it that you're going to try to turn around and say it's transphobic? Your line of questioning is transphobic. So what if he said your line of questioning me for questioning you is you're trying to bestow your black supremacy upon me? What if he would have done something like that? Can you imagine what happened? Then she turned around and made it seem like, oh, 1 in 5 people are killed. It has nothing to do with what he's talking about right now. You see what I'm saying? So to me, let me slow down, because I love when y'all just don't know. I eat these people alive when they come at me like this.
I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide.
Okay, I would go back.
Have pregnancies?
So like what she just did, she didn't answer his question. She went straight to this.
I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide.
And I would have said, okay, and why is that? Okay, since you're bringing that up, ma'am, why is that? Why is it that 1 in 5 of them attempt suicide? Talk about that. Go and expound upon it, because it has nothing to do with me questioning you. I can ask you where's the nearest store, and if you want to just try to throw something out there saying that I'm being transphobic because I asked you what the nearest store is, what the heck is that? Just like right now, ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for this rhetoric. Do not fall for what they're trying to do right here to make you feel like you can't ask them anything. I don't care if you look. I will sit there and believe you that you believe that you are a woman trapped as a man body. I will believe you. I believe that you believe that you are a man trapped in a woman's body. But I'm not going to look at you and tell you that you are a woman and you are a man when you're not. I'm not going to do that. I will not do that. So the issue that this all comes down to is that this right here is going to be a way to where if you cannot sit there and freely state your opinion and freely state what you see as truth, then what they're trying to do is silence you. And see, if you're not able to speak freely, then what's the point of thinking? And if you cannot think, that means you can be easily led. And whatever it is that you're easily being led by, whatever ideology or doctrine that you're being led by, that ends up becoming a part of who you are. And you will go out and live out those things as if they are true when they are not. It's real easy. I don't care if you throw cis, piss, gis, dis, bice, kais, koos, clock, lock, knock, ook, ak, pee, and you put woman behind it or man behind it. That's not going to change a darn thing at all. I don't care. A trans woman, that's not a woman. A trans man is still not a man. Hence trans. That's what they are. So still, when it comes down to it, a woman can get pregnant. A man cannot get pregnant. A biological man cannot get pregnant. A biological woman can get pregnant. I don't care what pronouns and conouns and dupox and nuclox and nokmox and barbrox and all kind of stuff you throw behind that. When it all comes down to it, the common denominator is XX and XY, plain and simple. And only one of those can get pregnant. That's it. That's it. It's a woman. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. Let me hear some more of this nonsense that she was saying in here when she's trying to deflect from him. Wow, they just came collapsing down, y'all. Let me see.
Because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist.
Wow, I would
stop you two.
Denying that trans people exist, and
so we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
Wait, so denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist? No, because they don't. What are you? They don't. They don't exist like aliens don't. Man, we've been waiting. Look, y'all. Okay, I ain't even about to get into the whole conversation because I know some of y'all will go berserk over that. But denying that they exist, you're saying, okay, now watch this. Watch how she plays into this some more. Watch this. Watch this.
That trans people exist by asking you if you're talking.
Know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
No, see what I'm saying? Now, what if you turn around and say, are you denying that are you denying my freedom of speech? Well, then what the heck? Y'all, late. This stuff drives folks crazy. But I want you guys to pay some attention to this. They are showing us exactly who they are. Plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. They are showing us who they are. Stavros Serentopoulos says $10 for the channel. American first, not last. You absolutely darn right about that, my friend. Absolutely 100% right about that. But ladies and gentlemen, when you see things like this, these people are showing us exactly who they are. The way that this lady is talking, the way that this lady is acting, they are showing us who they are. And you know what? Some of us need to really look at it for what it is. Just because someone has professor, I don't care, doctor, PhD, Raknukma, Delegala, Teke Ambogo. I don't care what accolades they have behind their names. I do not care. What you're seeing right there with her, what person would look at her and say, she's perfectly normal mentally? What she's acting like right there, that's showing you they crazy. They crazy. I am not hating on anybody. I got a lot of people that follow this channel that are homosexual. I got people that follow this channel that are like that. They're homosexual. So I'm talking women that are lesbian, men that are gay, whatever you want to call it. They know I do not disrespect them in any way. But you will not be able to come here and tell me. See, this is what you're listening. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to listen to this. You do not have to accept these people. You don't have to accept them for what they think they are. You don't have to. You don't have to accept them for what they think. Listen to me. You do not have to accept them for what they think or who they think they are. No different than the person that got multiple personality disorder. They think they're 10 different people. Okay, you think you're 10 different people. That's my mommy said that I am special. What the hey, don't you do that, don't you? Who that said that? Well, you know what? I don't think that that's something that I want to go right down there and do. That's something that, well, boy, I tell you what, you go down there, you tell them girls that they're the one. That's not no way to talk to somebody, Johnny. Now, you know that you're not supposed to talk to no way like that. Man, you know what? They said that my name is my name is actually Luke Bryan, and I'm a country singer. Everybody thinks I'm a country singer. I do a fairly good job. I'm not that good of a dancer or anything like that, but I think I do a good job dancing. I like wearing my tight jeans. You're stupid. You're wrong. Take the jeans off. Take the jeans off. Well, I'm quite proud to be the first black president, and I'm surely and pretty soon I'll be the last one. Thank you. All those different things just came out right there. Y'all need to accept me for all those different things I just did right there. What would you do? Dude, you crazy. That's what you that's what you would do. You would look at me and say, dude is crazy. But you know what? You better accept me for all of those right there. I am not Ty Smith. I'm all of those people. I'm Trump. I'm Obama. I'm Luke Bryan. I'm Lumber Black Jack. I'm Auntie Dashika Shay. I'm Bubba Head Cute Kid Wookie. I'm Raekwon. You darn right. Yeah, I'm Schmeagle. So you better accept me for all those. Well, which one do we call you, Ty? All of them. So when you address me, you say, hey, Luke Bryan, Barack Obama, you better address me whenever you do that, or else I'm going to be raising hell and calling you a personophobic. You are personality phobic is what you are, because you're not addressing me for what I am. No, I'm not going to accept you for what you think you are. I'm going to actually accept you for what I know you are. Now, I'm talking about what I'm seeing on the. No, see, that's the problem. You guys are all looking at the physicality part of it. You're looking at the superficial part of it. It's the superficial part that can get you pregnant. There is no mental penis and no mental vagina. There is no spiritual vagina and no spiritual penis. There is a physical penis and a physical vagina. That's what it is. So no, I'm going to look at you for what you have superficial. I'm telling there are people that are born with both of them, man. Come on now. You talk to somebody that's in the medical field. How rare is that? And then as this person goes through adolescence, we get to see which one takes precedence for the ones you want to call an hermaphrodite. They had both of them. Well, as they start to mature, one starts to actually fully pour through, and you get to see exactly what that person is going to be. So all this stuff, I seen y'all, some of y'all come up with the dumbest stuff in the world. I seen a woman who had a full penis, full balls and testes and all that, and they had a full vagina with a vaginal canal with a uterus and fallopian tube. Stop. Y'all need to just stop, man. You know, if you go on the internet and look for something, you're going to find it, right? You do know that, right? Y'all need to stop with all that, man. I mean, quit all that. But again, when it all comes down to it, it's going to be what you see a person superficially as. That's what it's going to be. All right, Roswell, 1983, thank you for the super chat. Said, I did some research on YouTube. I became even more adamant that men can't get pregnant. These people need therapy, not affirmation. Absolutely, I agree with that. Now, again, to the people that are in here, because I know some of y'all are lurking, some of my folks that are in here, understand this. I am not in no way. I don't care. People can come with what they want to, because I can care less. Because as long as I know what I am, I can care less. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. I'm not any of those things. Don't try to throw that on me, because I'm smashing down some craziness that's going on inside of a lot of people here. But understand this. I do not care what a person chooses to be. Y'all, you hear me? I do not care what a person chooses to be. If you want to be gay, that is your choosing. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to. That's completely up to you. But that does not mean that I have to sit there and lie. And she said, did she say pretend? She did say pretend, right? Let me go back. She did say pretend, right?
No, I don't think so. If you're talking about women having
and pretending not to know that they exist. Trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
See, I would be like, see what I'm saying? Pretending not to know that they exist. So now she's putting that on him. Like, you're sitting up here pretending not to know that. See me? That's what I'm saying. I won't be a politician. I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm not pretending. I think you got it mixed up in who's pretending. Y'all, man, look. Oh God, I know. Woo, I'm getting hot. It is straight pretend is what it is. What she's accusing him of is exactly what those who claim that they are those things are doing. That's why the people that follow me on my channel that are homosexual, that's why they flat out tell me I am a woman and I like women. They tell me I am a man and I like men. They tell me I am a woman, I like men and women. They tell me I am a man, I like men and women. But they do not tell me that they are a female that is inside of a man's body. They do not tell me that. Not the ones that are real. I'm not, even they, which they're just saying because they're part of the LGBTQ community and all that, they don't like to come out. I'm just being real with y'all. They don't like to come out and speak out against their friends who happen to be the ones that are not, it's not even their friends. They don't have to speak out against the ones that's part of that community that are pretending that they are a woman trapped in a man's body. And they don't want to come out and speak out against the ones who are they're a part of that community who are women that are pretending to be men. That's what they say they don't want to do that because they just don't want that. I mean, everybody's different. Some of them, maybe they'll get brave one day and jump on here and just speak out against that. But most of them don't want to do that because they're part of the community. If they do that, they feel like they'll be ridiculed or just kicked out or bashed. Bird Lady Speaks says, preach, and gave me the hand claps. I appreciate that, Bird Lady. And guys, I'm going to be opening this up a little bit. I'm going to be opening up this line right here and letting y'all come in and say what y'all want to say on this. But again, before I do that, I want to let it be known here. I'm not trying to bring anybody on here like there's going to be this, well, I'm looking for the word, like it's going to be this bashing the people that are like that, because they seriously got some psychological things that are going on, and it's showing. I mean, it is flat out showing, and that's it. It's amazing, and I'm not trying to go, you know, I'm not trying to go on the deep end as far as like spirituality goes. But it amazes me that we in our current times right now, we have spiritual manifestations that are in people right now, but because it's so common, we won't recognize it for that. Back in the Bible days, there was a man who they tried to bind with chains, and they said he broke the chains, and they said he cut himself all the time. That all was going on until that man had an encounter with Jesus. Okay? I'm not preaching at y'all. I'm just giving y'all a story here. I know everybody here ain't about church and all that, but I'm just giving you a story out of an amazing book called the Bible. This man cut himself daily, it said. That all changed when he had an encounter with Jesus. I'm not trying to tell nobody to come to Jesus. All I'm trying to do is show some exposure to that there were people that had psychological issues back in the Bible days as well. Today, y'all know how many people I've come across since I've been a clinician that are cutters? They cut themselves. Tell me that they are not the same type of people that that man was back in the Bible days. Tell me they're not. Now, this right here is going to have a lot of people messed up. But to the ones that are in here right now, that are listening to me, there is a great book called the Bible, right? In this Bible, there was a time, and if y'all don't know the story, there was a time in the Bible where Jesus went up to get ready to cast out some devils out of a person. And Jesus asked, who are you? And the things that were inside that person, the devils that was inside that person said, Legion, for we are many. Tell me this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. When Jesus spoke to that individual person right there, and he said, who are you? Jesus wasn't talking to that individual. He was talking to the things that were inside that individual. And that's why when it answered, the devils that was inside that person said, Legion, for we are many. Tell me, in our present day right now, when you tell me that you are cis, binary, non-binary, and your pronouns is he, she, they, ik, ak, ook, ut, luke, lak, mak, book, you are telling me you're using the modern words today and telling me that you are Legion is what you're doing. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Bam, there it is. You are telling me that you are Legion. You saying for we are many is what you're saying. I am Legion for we are many. When you want me to call you multiple things, and I said it's the same thing. I'm not just talking about people that are in the trans and all this stuff like that. I said the same thing to my patients who have actually been healed. They've been healed. I didn't sit there and take them to church and try to have nobody pray over them, nothing like that. I just spoke with them because guess what? I said all the time, the truth and righteousness, it prevails. That's why I will not withhold this from anybody. I don't hate individuals. You guys know who I'm talking to because some of y'all are in here right now. I saw your names. Y'all have emailed me. We've had personal conversations about the stuff that you were dealing with. 6 months in, you guys are already telling me how everything is just becoming clear to you, how you're feeling better. You don't have those suicidal thoughts no more. You don't have the depression no more. Come on now. I don't care what anybody say. I said this from the beginning when I started my channel that I always, whether I do reaction videos, I always come correct with truth and righteousness. I'm always on top of being a spiritual person, plain and simple. So me, for me to be a minister and be under the Lord Jesus Christ, God, the Father, I am not going to sit here and lie to you, and I'm not going to go along and pretend along with you that you are something that you are not. But I will tell you the truth about it. I know exactly what it is that you deal with. Because when we get to the root cause of what got you to get like that, what do y'all start doing? Like I said, I'm not calling nobody names out in here, but they know who they are. What did y'all start doing when we talked about this? You started crying on that phone. You started snotting and crying on the phone. You said you needed a minute. I told you, get it out. I told you if you need to go and scream in a pillow, I told you to go and do it, didn't I? I told you that. Because you know that once we hit to the root cause of what happened, when we hit to the root cause of what caused you to actually accept that, when you accept an ideology, when you accept those whispering spirits and those whispering voices and all that, when you accept and allow it to come into you, it manifests itself. Just like that. That's what I'm saying. I don't see no one going around talking like that, that's saying things like this. See what I'm saying? That's why you got to understand, I don't throw the Bible at nobody, nor am I doing it right now. I'm just telling you, I'm looking at comparisons to stuff that happened thousands of years ago, and I'm looking at it right now. What they call legion back then, whatever they consisted of, I'm saying right now, if you got multiple personality disorder, were you telling me that you are bipolar? You're telling me that you are dealing with another type of spirit. When you tell me that you got multiple personality disorder, you are telling me that you are dealing with multiple devils. When you tell me that you are cis, bis, gas, oos, ook, lock, knock, blee, and my pronouns is she, he, this, flat, flute, plat, plit, you are flat out just telling me I'm full of devils. Now, I'm not calling you, the individual, the human person I'm seeing in front of me, I'm not calling you a devil. I'm not calling you a sinner. I'm not calling you wrong. But what I am saying, that which is inside of you that has deceived you into buying into this, I'm calling those things in you devils. And that's why I told y'all, whenever I get in front of people and I talk like this and they start to yeah, look at that spirit manifesting itself. Look at it manifesting itself. It is pissed off because I pulled its number. No, because you're hateful. Oh, I'm hateful because I'm telling you the truth. I'm not even coming at you in no bad way. I'm not calling you any names. I'm not talking about your mama. I'm not talking about you. I'm not calling you fat. I'm not calling you ugly. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm simply saying that which you are operating with right now, it does not care about you, because in the end, its ultimate goal is to what? Kill you. And she's showing us through what she said. 1 in 5 people are committing suicide. Yes, because those spirits that are operating in you are seducing spirits that are sitting there telling you and whispering in your ear, telling you, you don't matter. What's the point of living? Nobody cares. Everybody looks at you funny. Look, you can't even go out in public right now. They all think that you're crazy. This world is just cruel. You don't even matter. Why be here? If you do it, guess what? You will make it matter then. You will be like a rebel. If you kill yourself, it'll hurt your family so bad that they're going to wish they would have loved you. So yeah, that hurt is going to be left with your family. That's how you can stick it to them. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Come on now. The suicide rate among them is the highest because of what? Because no, it's not. I'm telling you, y'all, hold on, boy, because I'm about to have my son come there and do something. So I'm about to bring y'all in here because I'm up here sweating like I'm preaching for real. So anyway, let me get ready to bring some of y'all in right now. I'm getting ready to give y'all the link right here. So some of y'all can come in here. I done did my part. All right, here go the link right here, ladies and gents. So let's see who's going to be jumping in on this. I would like somebody with the opposing views in here. If you are somebody that might have been, if you are someone that may have been a, part of that community, and you got, you're no longer a part of the community right now, and you got like pulled from it. You know the word I'm looking for, whether you want to say saved or anything of the sort. If you got pulled from that community, I would like to know how, because I'm just telling you straight up. Don't let this world, don't let this current thing lie to you. I'm telling you, those are flat out seducing, lying spirits that's getting you to do that. And then when people sit there and they support you and they back you up with it, they are actually attributing to what end up may be the end cause of you. I don't care what it is, whether you are a thug, whether you are a robber, whether you are a murderer, whether you are trans, all these things like that. The ultimate goal of all those spirits that's entering into you is rooted in evil, and the evil hates you because you are made in the image of God. It hates you, so its ultimate goal is to destroy you. That's why all those things ends up leading to your death. When you start off doing drugs, you're gonna end up getting accustomed to it. The more drugs you do, the more accustomed you become to it. You end up needing something a little more stronger, something more powerful, right? So you can't even get high like you used to off what you used to, because now you don't get the same high. You need more to the point where all of a sudden now you OD, killed yourself, because the things that started you off with it, they're patient. The spirits are patient. They're here. They're not dead yet. Those spirits are patient. They got your whole life to kill you, and they do it slowly. I'm telling you, man, I know what I'm talking about. Y'all have no idea. When I go to these AA meetings, I wish they would let me record some of these AA meetings, because if they let me cover some of these AA meetings, you guys will get to see these folks flat out tell you that whenever they did X, Y, Z, that they was accounted. They know they had a spiritual encounter with this, and they would name off what the spirit was or something like that. All right, we got Dante in the house right here. Dante, how you doing, sir? Is your mic on, Dante?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
All right. Just making sure you in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, don't forget, the people that are in here right now, I'd appreciate if you guys get a video a thumbs up so the video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm, because you guys will be the reason why this video gets circulated within the YouTube algorithm if you feel that this message should get out there. Because you know what? If they want to go out there and push this rhetoric out there, if they want to go out there and push this ideology, which is the typically doctrines of devils, then folks that are in Christ or are about truth and righteousness need to stand up against this. All right. So Lawn Dog says the demons get you to do their dirty work, and then they laugh when you get caught. Roscoe says you are preaching. Oh, Lord. Look, Non said, Ty, drink some water. I know I'm hot. I told you that stuff like that, it's just ridiculous, though, because I mean, that's one of the things you don't hear a lot of ministers actually doing right now. They're not speaking out against this. They're not calling out for what it is. And I tell people all the time, that whenever you encounter people like this, when you get to talking about what's actually behind them and what got them like they are, they become very uncomfortable. Why? See, when you have the power of the Holy Spirit operating within you, it's more powerful than the enemy. That's why it says greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Because when you actually sit there and you call out those spirits that's operating behind people, those spirits have no choice. There's no battle with spirits and God. There is no competition. The opposite of God is not the devil at all. There is no competition. And if you are heir to that throne, if you are heirs of Christ and that power is operating within you, that's why I tell people simply shed the light, because they don't like it. And they see that you coming at them with love. This is not showing what I'm doing right now. YouTube they can't flag it, because I'm not showing no hate towards them. I'm showing legit concern for them. These people are committing suicide like nobody's business amongst the population right now. The gay, lesbian, all them, they're the ones that got the higher suicide rate. But it's because of what? Oh, it's because of people not being nice to them. It's because of the hate they feel, or it's because they don't feel accepted. A lot of people go through that that's not even trans. Normal people go through that. Kids that might have been considered nerds at one time, they went through that whole process. Shoot, black people went through it. Some black people that came out of the hood that was just paranoid about white systemic racism and white privilege, they had to deal with that too, but they're not killing themselves over. So the question needs to be asked, why are they killing themselves over that? Again, ladies and gentlemen, I posted the link up here. And if you would like to get in on this, go ahead and click that link and let me hear from you. All right, Dante, you good now?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
All right. What do you think about this, bro?
It's so much I can say about this, sir. But anyway, you say you wanted someone to get on here that has been a part of that community. You know, everyone knows I used to live in that community, and a lot of people don't think that you could change. They think that, hey, if you once gay, you always gay, or whatever the case may be. But I'm a witness that, you know, that God can change, and because I did give my life to Christ, he did make a difference. But I will say this, is that even when I was in that lifestyle, I never ever wanted to be a woman, because I know being a woman was something that God did create me to be. And it's hard to be, I think women, it's hard for them to be a woman. So why would I even try to be a woman? It's hard to be a man. So why would I even try to, you know, change my gender or my sexual, my sex, because of the simple fact that I had a psychological imbalance, if you want to call it that, or a spiritual attack or a generational curse that was put on my life by way of molestation. And I think a lot of these people, if you talk to them, you will find out that usually the root cause is molestation, and then it progresses and you find out that you hate yourself or you mad at yourself because you don't want to be that way. And so you start trying to become something other than the pain that you feel. I hung around people that was in the trans life, and I removed myself from them because I knew that wasn't the path I wanted to go down. Suicide, that was something that did come across my mind because of self-hate. I didn't know who I was and what God created me to be until I got into the scripture that you was talking about, began to get in the word. That made a difference in my life. But I'm with you. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate trans. I don't hate gay people, lesbians. I don't hate them, you know, but I know the devil does. And that's why I speak out about it so strongly, because I know that the devil hate them, and the devil try to make people think that you hate them because you tell them the truth. I believe Paul said in Galatians 4:6, have I now become your enemy because I tell you the truth? You know, I just believe that if you tell the truth, it frees people. And, you know, I don't have to always agree with you, but I just believe that when you tell the truth, like this chick that was on there talking about pretending, I think that's what happens with a lot of these people that live in a false reality. And that's why when you talk to people, you get to the root of it, they break down because reality comes back. They realize that, hey, I've been living something that, you know, was predicated on pain, rejection, trauma. You know, trauma is the gateway. So, I mean, I don't want to overtake the conversation, but I just really
No, go
appreciate
ahead,
you
man. I like
speaking
this.
out about things like this, man, because I think a lot of people don't know. And then you have a lot of pastors that don't want to preach the truth. You have people that are in the community, they know it's wrong, they won't speak up, and then when they do, the whole community come against them. But I thought it was about intolerance. I thought it was about love. And trans men will never be women, ever. As long as you got fallopian tubes, a uterus, all those things that women have, you will never be a woman. Just imagine us men if we had to push a baby out of our hole. Man, that'd be crazy. I think that God should allow that to happen just one time. I think that is straighten up a whole.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that number. Lord Jesus, I do not want to be that number. Whoa, holy smokes! You know what? And I'm glad you're saying this, man, because when you brought up how this actually happened with you, a lot of people do not know and do not even want to believe that. I would say, let's just say, Dante, I would say 75% of the people that I've talked to that went to that lifestyle that's been delivered from it, I would say 75% of the ones I've talked to stem from molestation. I've had some people tell me some stuff, Dante, and all y'all, since we're on this right now, I've had some people tell me some stuff, Dante, that I fully understand. So, for example, and folks, if you have some children listening right now, you see my hands counting down. If you have some kids in here, some teenagers, you don't want to hear this right now, you might want to get them off right now. Okay, I gave you, look, we have 4 seconds. I'm giving you, look, you need them to close their ears or something. Okay, boom, it expired. Get your kids out of there. So, okay, to the people that are in here right now, let me tell y'all something what I've been told by some people that was of that lifestyle that actually when it happened to them. I'm not saying this is Dante, but I'm just telling you guys of an incident that a few have told me when they were children and they were little boys. I'm talking about, and you can say girls too, but I'm just saying some guys in particular. They told me how, you know, they were like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and whether a male would come in and would do things to them, to their penis area. And folks, we just being real. Little boys, they said, this little guys told me whenever they did things to them, to their penis area, those nerves down there are nerves of feel good. So because it felt good, it didn't feel like it was a problem. It's no different, they said, than like if you have an older cousin or uncle that when they played with you or they tickled you, it was fun. So whenever they got touched down there, because it was not pain and it actually felt good to them, they just thought that it was a nice thing. So it got to a point to where some of these little kids actually looked forward to their uncle or the older cousin or sometimes a babysitter's boyfriend that they would come over there. They looked forward to them doing it to them because it felt good down there when they did that. No different than when it is when a kid wants to play with you because they want you to tickle them. So these guys end up saying, so as they grew, their encounters of having that good feeling down there on their penis area was associated with a man doing that to them. Therefore, they end up having this likeness for men because they want to relive those experiences and the nostalgia that the older uncle or the older cousin or the babysitter's boyfriend gave them. And then all of a sudden, you know, they just like, okay, I'm just so freaking confused right now. And that's why I tell people some things like that. That's why you got to watch over your family, watch over your kids, because some things that should not have been touched or dealt with in little kids until they hit adolescence, it happened to them at an early stage. And whatever those experiences is that those early stages get them to feel good feels like that, they end up turning to that. And then when you try to, and no, now I'm not talking about people like preachers and stuff like that. I'm talking about like me talking right now. I would just have these conversations with these guys, and we just rapped, we just talked. That's what we did. Now you know that the Lord God said, "Come." No, it was none of that. We just talked, and over time, you talking 3-4 months. Once they started trusting me, we started having these deep conversations. All of a sudden, I waited until they said to me, "Man, I don't want to be like this no more, man. I know something is going on." Kind of like what you said there, Dante. I know something's right, man. And then I love the fact too, Dante, that you said self-hate, as if that was all coming from within. There's, people were parent. They was telling me, well, people would look at me funny. I thought they were looking at me because I was this way. They dressed like men. They carried themselves like men, but they felt that when people looked at them, they was like, I felt like people can just look at me, knew what I was doing behind closed doors. When nobody, all I did was look at you because I was just looking at you. So all those psychological things that was going on in their head, it was just driving them crazy. So where they were just like, look, I just want out, man. Like I want out, so. Roscoe, welcome in here, sir. Appreciate you being in here. What you like to add to this, sir?
Hello, Mr. Todd, and hello, Dante. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing pretty good. Are you?
So far so good. Can't complain. I read the article earlier today, and I was thinking, God, I got to send Ty a link on Facebook or something like that because this would get him. But obviously, you've seen it. This lady reminds me so much of the guy that was in the last video chat that I was in, where he was calling you a grifter and all like that. Start off on, you would ask him the question, what makes me a grifter? Turn it right around into something totally different. That's what this person is doing. She has no business as a teacher. None. I mean, what is she? I wouldn't last 5 minutes in her class. Me and her would tie up. When she started to question me and then accusing me of being, hate speech and causing people to commit suicide and all this other stuff, people I don't even know. Nah. That dog won't hunt. And on another note, and this is one of the main reasons I got in here, how much of this that we're seeing right now with stuff like this is misdirection, blue smoke and mirrors and everything to divert us from a lot of the issues that are confronting us as a country. And I'm talking about the price of gas, price of groceries, and everything. I mean, they're coming up with all this stuff. January 6th committees, that's another thing. I mean, it really has nothing to do with what you're talking about. I mean, everybody's pretty much that I've seen in chat so far have agreed. Man can't have a baby. He can help, but he can't have no youngin'. I mean, he can assist in the process, but that's it. Just like a woman can't make a man pregnant. The plumbing is not correct, for that to happen. I'm trying to be nice because might be young people.
No, I mean, I was talking real. Yeah.
Well, there might be young people listening and want to see how
I gave them the warning, Roscoe. I did a countdown, told them if they got kids in there. So
hey, but still, gotta be nice. Can't be like the other guy was. But anyways, the reason
I thought you meant like saying educated. I thought you were talking about like you didn't want to say penis or vagina. I thought you were saying that.
Penis and vagina. That was in Kindergarten Cop. Yeah, but anyways, how much of this is misdirection, trying to divert our attention from real issues? Okay, a man getting pregnant and needing an abortion is not an issue until you show me a man that is pregnant, and we got to talk about abortion then. Yeah, we'll have the conversation then all you want. Until then, just don't even go there. A trans man, that's a woman that's turned into a man. Yeah, I'll probably get pregnant. It all depends on how much of her plumbing's been removed or redirected or whatever. I mean, I'm not familiar with the type of operations they can get, but like I say, the January 6th committees, this and a lot of the other subjects that's going on right now, to me, are misdirection, blue smoke and mirrors to deflect our attention from the main issues that we should be watching about.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Defense of our country, which goes back to oil also. Now, you want to talk to me about clean energy? Let's talk thermonuclear reactors.
uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. That's a bad subject and all like that. Of our most of our fleet, well, submarines, we'll use that as an example, have been nuclear submarines ever since the 50s. They've converted from diesel electric to thermonuclear. How many thermonuclear accidents have those boats had?
That's a really good point.
They've only lost 2 boats, just two of them. One was the USS Thresher, the other was USS Scorpion. Neither was due to the power plant. Nuclear energy is clean energy. The amount of leftover fuel and all like that is not as much as they say. I've read a little bit on it. I'm not no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but that's clean energy there. Okay, done under the correct circumstances and all like that, properly regulated. That's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you get misdirected from that.
Yeah.
Because we're worried about the windmills now killing all the eagles. That's one of the out west where there's a lot of the golden eagles and such as that. Those things wipe out birds all the time. I mean, it's a major problem. Some of the farms out there have to actually have a take permit from the U.S. Game and Wildlife to allow them to kill so many birds, so things can function.
Yeah. That's and see what down. That's perfectly, because you pretty much got to the end part of. That's why I want to bring people in like this, because that's what I was going to come down and say. So what do you guys, what you just did it too right there, going to say, so why do you think that they're trying to draw our attention all on what we're talking about right now, also on the January 6th, like you said, also on, oh man, Elon Musk now with the Twitter and all that. It's almost like, is it like you just said, and that's what it is. It's to distract us from the fact that
one of my heroes. I like him.
Man.
I like Elon.
It's like, pretty much when it comes down to it, it's like all those things are being done, but what people don't have no idea, whether you want to identify as all those things right there, whether you want to call yourself cis, trans, Luke, knock, whether you want to talk about race or whatever like that, guess what? Everybody, are y'all not looking at the fact that all of us are suffering right now from the gas and from the inflation? Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people right now. We've lost people now in medical facilities because they were having to travel like 45 minutes to the job, and now they're spending like $160 a week for gas, and they're like, I can't do that. Like, there's like, I don't even really have a check, because I mean, you're talking $280 out of somebody's check along with already getting the taxes taken out, and they're not being compensated for that. So people are like having to like stop. So what they're not seeing is that whether you are all those different things that I just said, everybody is sitting here suffering. Now we need to look at together. Why are we suffering like this, and who is making us suffer? And we'll deal with all the little nonsense, all the little whether you think you're a man or a woman. We'll deal with the white supremacy and white privilege, and deal with the oh my God, really? They cannot stop talking about Trump.
Well, it all goes back to how squeaky the wheel is. You're talking about a very small percentage of the country here, I think. I mean, I don't know. I've not looked at the figures, but I'm sure that the alphabet community, as it were, they're not the majority of the population, but they're trying to decide and tell us how to refer to them. I got news for you. Somebody comes up to me, and I'm talking about a single individual, and tells me their name, and says you refer to me as them or they. I'm gonna ask them right then how many people they got inside that head, because if there's more than one, you need to go get some help psychologically. I mean, I'm sorry. I went to school. I could take count. I only see one of you. One is, them and they is plural. That's at least 2 or more. They ain't getting that out of me. I'll say, sir, ma'am, stuff like that, but I will not refer to them as them or they. Ain't gonna happen.
That could be an impediment on speech right there. I mean, and I want to give a shout out real quick to Unsolicited Security Boss with the $10 super chat. Says MRM support to the awesome ministry. Sis, really, really appreciate that. Guys, if you're in here right now, I'm not saying this just to be saying it, but everybody that's in it, there's 470 people in there right now. You guys really should go over there and check out Unsolicited Unsolicited Security Boss's channel. She does really good over there. Really, really laid back, cool lady who's open-minded, will have a conversation with you, no hate towards you. I even just mentioned to like a lot of my young female mentorees, I actually told them to go over there and follow her because she seems to be on the right path and a lot of things that a lot of young women should be. When you are an older adult and you want to talk about trying to teach young women how to be young women, and actually how to be a woman within your marriage, her channel is definitely a good place to be. And I do not recommend so many people channels. Those that are watching me right now, you guys know, how many times you can probably name on one hand how many times I recommended somebody else's channel. So don't forget, folks, to give the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate that very, very much. And I opened this up for other people to get in here. And I'm not trying to put this person on the spot or anything like that, but I'm going to find a comment here. I think it was Zeters. I'm trying to find the name right there. I'm trying to find a comment so I can bring it back up. But Zeters don't want to come in because Zeters think that if you come in here, that we might try to bash you or make fun of you or anything like that. No, that's not what we want to do. That's what I'm saying. See, what we see a lot is this. And I'm not saying this is you, Zeter, but Zeter, okay, there you said, but all people here seem to want to do is laugh at instead of having a good faith discussion. So if that's the case, prove your point, Zeters. Prove your point that that's what we want to do, because we're asking you to come in here. We got a guy in here right now who came from that community that's explaining things. You don't see him in there bashing or making fun of folks. So when you say that all people want to do is laugh and instead of having a good faith discussion, how about you come into this panel and we will have that good faith discussion. I promise you that you will not get no hate from me. You won't be called any names. I like to see other people's perspective as to why they think and say the things that they do. So again, Zeters, I will open this up to you and let you come right on in. And I would like to hear from you. I'm pretty sure majority of the people in here that are listening right now, they would like to hear from you too, because what we find a lot in our world right now is that I think the scary part is that you will find that majority of people don't agree. And that's why mainstream media is the one that's pushing it out there as if it's acceptable amongst all Americans, when in reality it's not. And that's one of my biggest things that I talk about, is that perception can become greater than reality. The media is giving you the perception that this lifestyle and how people are like that is everywhere. Anywhere you look, is all there. But when you go out there in your real world, you don't see it on that scale like they show it on TV. So to me, that's what I say. The perception is greater than reality on that. So shout out to T-Win Smith, says, can we please discuss how the trans movement is affecting mental, emotional health of real women? Dante, what do you think about that?
I think real women, it bothers me because I see them advocating for it too much, if I have to say it that way. You look at this lady that was in this hearing today. She's advocating for the trans community, but yet and still we hear a lot of people, especially in the Black community, there's no good men out here. Men are dogs. Men are this. Men are that. But yet and still, you advocating for someone that can actually replace you. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying that you don't love them. You don't be kind to them, because that's the right thing to do. But at the same time, I think it's a misnomer for you to say that there's no good men out there, but you are cool with the possible man that could be a good man for you. You advocate for him becoming a woman. It doesn't make sense to me. So I think the mental health issues that women are experiencing, some of this is self-inflicted, just like some of the things that men do is self-inflicted. I mean, I just think if we sit down and really peel back the onion, we'll really see that it's not that deep. Even when I'm gonna go back to something that the gentleman said earlier, as far as the country, when you think about how this really does affect the country as a whole, when you have men that are not in the home being providers for their families, when you have the government want to subsidize people in the LGBTQ community, I believe at one time in California, that was giving them checks, if you identify with that community. So it does affect us on the bigger scheme when you really think about it, because if things were in the natural order, then you would have a lot of people less dependent on the government, and getting checks from the government, which would kind of help with this inflation, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it all goes in hand, just from my perspective.
All right, well, okay. All right. Yeah, that's why I hear you on that. What do you think, Roscoe?
My wife used to work with at Walmart up there in Marion, Virginia, when we lived up there, and there were some people that community, the gay community, and all like that, worked in there and all like that. She always got along great with them and all like that. The reason I'm using her is that's really the only woman I'm around. As an example, that is. It doesn't really bother her that much. What's going on with them. She does her thing, they do theirs. What does bother her, though, and same thing that bothers me, is when they shove it down your throat, as far as their rights being trampled, as far as them being abused, as far as them being threatened, and it's not happening. I don't see it anyways. I'm sure it does in certain cases and everything like that. I'm not saying it does not ever happen. It most likely has happened to certain individuals and everything. And that's bad. It's wrong. It should not be that way.
Right.
Everybody's created equal, as far as a
Right.
man, woman, whatever. There's certain jobs that a man can't do that a woman is better at. That's a fact of life. I'm 66 years old almost, and I've seen it. There are certain things that men can do that women cannot. I don't know. It's a complex situation that's been exaggerated, I think, to the point of it's out of proportion. Now, stuff like, we'll take news, for example, the guy that's a trans, or whatever he is, the swimmer. You know who I'm talking about. Won all those championships, flat smoke.
Leah Thomas.
Else. Yeah. Now, when he was a guy, or she was a guy, or whatever, no disrespect intended by me using the wrong gender there. I don't know what it is.
He's a man.
Something. But anyways, he was like number 600 in the world. That was his ranking. And he goes and changes gender and all like that, takes estrogen or whatever to increase his womanliness or whatever. And now he's top of the game. Well, I'm sorry, he's been a guy all his life. Can't change physiology overnight. Not even in a matter of months, even a matter of a couple of years or whatnot. It just don't happen. And he still has that advantage over them. And that's unfair competition. Those ladies that are competing against him are very upset. I don't blame them. I do not blame them at all. What I'd really get mad at is if he was trying to use their locker room.
Yeah. And see, that's the part that
that's something I've had a problem with for a long time, because what was it, North South Carolina, something like that, where they were trying to make all bathrooms all gender acceptable or whatever, trans accept. You know what I mean. In other words, a man can go in the ladies' room. All they got to say is, "Well, I'm trans," and they can go right straight into the ladies' room with 8, 9-year-old girls. No.
No, you're right about that. Absolutely not, man. It's crazy. I'm about to bounce off of that a little bit here, but let me get this super chat real quick. The Texan says, "I identify as John Wayne." Just saying, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. And then also, I want to let everybody in the chat right here know, do me a favor and do not use all caps, because what will happen, especially on conservative channels, if you are using all caps, YouTube's AI will start to flag you as if you're being hostile towards me, and they will start to hide your comments. And then what they will end up doing, if I post a video that's not a live video, and if you watch it and you go to comment, as soon as you hit enter to post your comment will disappear, because YouTube AI will flag you, and they will put it in the area on my channel in the back area called held for review or dangerous language. And I have to go in there and actually approve all of it. I don't do it. YouTube does that. So just want to say that. And don't forget, if you're in here right now, double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also, if you like this conversation, what's going on thus far, give the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. So to kind of bounce off what Roscoe just said right there about Leah Thomas, that's the all-out right proof right there. And I'm not, look, folks got upset, but I flat out said, if Leah Thomas, if he was to come out after he gets done with everything and said, I literally did that to pimp people, just to show how stupid and crazy folks are. I did that so I can get a free scholarship. I did that so I can get the money to get the interviews. That's what I did it for, because what a lot of people don't know, and I don't know if you know this, Roscoe, T-Win, I see you in here. Welcome, T-Win. What a lot of people don't know is this. Leah Thomas has all his parts. Leah Thomas is literally a man that just got long hair. That's it. He has all his male genitalia, and I'll raise you another one. like you said, Roscoe, the girls were complaining because Leah Thomas, not just because he was in the locker room, they were complaining is because he has all his parts.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Leah Thomas, and I look, y'all, I'm being sarcastic, Leah Thomas and his geniosity, being his genius, whatever the word you want to say, being a genius, Leah Thomas turned around and said, I like women. So first, he is a woman by word,
Exactly.
by title, but he still has all his male parts. He still stands tall when he see women butt naked, and he likes women. So he is a man that says he is a woman that likes women. Therefore, he is a lesbian in a man's body that still likes women.
Trans-lesbian.
And if I can interject a little bit here.
Go ahead, T-Win.
That's one of my points, is now we have men that are not changing their body image at all. They're not getting surgery. They're not taking hormones. And I'm not joking. Everybody's going to laugh. They are seriously saying, and we used to laugh about this when I was young in the 80s and 90s, I'm a woman trapped, I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. And they are still getting transferred to women's prison. Because how can you say that I'm not a woman? You said I'm a woman. Well, now I'm a lesbian. And the other thing that's going on is I have a friend in the LGBTQ plus community, and she has said that there are men that will identify as a woman and then attack her for not being attracted to them, even though they still have all their parts. They said, well, I'm a woman and I'm a lesbian. Why won't you have sex with me? And she has experienced this in her own personal life. And that's kind of what I was getting at with the question is they keep talking about how all of this is affecting the trans community. But I don't hear much about what about the conservative, I don't want to say real women because that's not what I mean. Because I mean real women as in, let me clarify that. I mean real women as in, I hate using real women because they're feminists out there, but I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool my kids. I'm okay with that. I love it.
I love that too.
I will get attacked when I say that. If I meet someone in the store, a woman, oh, you got lovely kids. How are you? What do you do? I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband provides for me. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to talk to me anymore. And so I guess my question was, has anybody studied the so-called quote unquote cisgendered women's emotional and mental health? Because they talk about trans committing suicide, but we're losing our birthright as women. I mean, it's literally, we're losing a birthright. I can give life from my own body. That makes me a woman. I'm proud of that title. And I don't want to offend anybody, but when I see a man put on a dress and makeup, I see the same thing that I saw with blackface back in the day. Somebody making fun of me. This is their idea of what a woman is, and they have no clue. How could you know what it's like to be a woman? To go through everything that we've gone through. The mixed emotions, hey, this guy said I was pretty, today I'm insulted, but yesterday it was a compliment. You know, we have all of these complex mixed emotions that men can't understand. And then there's the biology that happens to us through puberty and coming to terms with that, whether we want it or not. I'm a very feminine woman, extremely. I love being extremely feminine, right? And I'm going to get.
I love that.
Quick. But if I were born right now, if I was a young woman right now, they would have 100% convinced me I was a boy. When I was a young girl, I wanted to be a truck driver. I climbed trees. I punched boys. I tried to make people eat worms. I was a tomboy to the core. And I see young women that way now that are being told, oh, you're a boy. And I think, oh my goodness, that could be the girliest girl, the loveliest mother, the best housewife, because it's hard work. If we pay other people to raise our children and clean our houses, why do we call housewives lazy? That's I'm teaching my children. I'm cleaning my house. I budget my house. I do everything for everybody. But I'm not being paid by an employer, then I'm worthless if my husband is the one that so whatever is paying the bills. I'm like, what, I belong to him or something. And so that's my little rant here, is that it really does. And I've seen some comments of, I'm a woman, it doesn't bother me. I'm glad it doesn't bother some women. but I've sat here in tears before because it's just so humiliating.
No, you know what? I'm with you on that. And let me tell you something, sister. Let me tell you something. My wife also did exactly what you did, and she has her degree. She did exactly the same thing. House mother. My sons are 20 and 18 years old right now, but all up until just now, my wife is getting ready to get into the workforce. And this 21 years of us being married, all because I have two grown-ups now. So she's like, okay, well, my job here is pretty much done now. Now, not saying that we both weren't parents, but as far as like the house and everything, oh my gosh. And here's the thing with that, and folks are gonna get really kind of uptight right now because y'all know, you should know me by now. If you're watching this channel, you've been with me for a while, you should know, I don't care what anybody thinks. I just lay it out there. That's actually one of the ways that it was actually naturally designed. And it's shown statistically that women who actually did stay home, take care of the house to a certain extent, like what my wife is doing, they tend to have been more stress-free. They were happier. They felt more fulfilled. They felt more like they had a purpose versus ones that were just all career women. And they might have decided to start having kids like in their 40s or 50s. It's a huge difference between the two. So to you, what I would say is no different in this. I always rely on certain truths. And the truth is 2 + 2 is 4. Now, Tewin, if anybody came to you and was upset at you because you're not going along with Common Core that says the 2 + 2 is not 4. 2 + 2 can be whatever that kid feels that it is. How would you feel about that if they really tried to ridicule you for saying that 2 + 2 is 4? Would you be like, oh, I don't want to? Would you be like, it is 4? You know what I'm trying to say?
That's my exact thing. I become frustrated, and I'm not a quiet person. What I think usually comes right out. And I wasn't a school teacher. I went to school and I got my degree as an elementary school teacher. And then I met my husband. We had our children, and I decided I was never going to enter the classroom because of what I learned when I was going to class to become a teacher, all the junk that they were trying to throw on us. I was like, you know what? How about I just stay home and take care of them and use that degree that way? But the stuff that they're teaching, even beyond the transgenderism, is awful. You take your child to daycare. We adopted some children. My husband's Black and I'm white. We've been married for a while. We have adopted 2 little children through the foster care system that are half Asian. So he gets attacked a lot because he's quote unquote raising little white children. They don't know the situation. It's none of their business. They just see me and, oh, you raising that white girl's children. And then we get, the other situations going on with the Uncle Tom and blah, blah, blah. And all of this is coming at you. And then you go to school, and the schools, this literally happened. My 4-year-old daughter was taught very well. She came home from daycare and she said, Mommy, this male teacher was talking about this and talking about that. And then when he was done, he told us all that we did not have to tell our parents this, that we should not tell them everything that happens at school. Wow. And she remembered what I told her. And what I told her was, if any adult ever says, don't tell mommy and daddy, that's the very first thing you need to do. And
Are
she came
you
home,
serious?
Yes, she came home and said, and that was the deciding factor. That was it. They never even made it to kindergarten. She came home and said, Mr. Such and Such said that I don't need to tell you everything that happens at school. Well, first of all, you're a man telling a 4-year-old little girl not to tell mommy what's happening. I have issues. Not that I am suspicious of all men, but
no, I would. I mean,
don't want to, make people say, oh, men can be good. I'm sure men can be great, but I have issues. If a woman said that to my little boy, hey, you don't have to tell Nana what happens or mommy what happens in the bathroom and blah, blah, I would have an issue. But the stuff that I see on TV and that I see people yelling about doesn't even touch the surface of what is really happening everywhere we go. I mean, you can stand up and say something, but you did the show on children being kicked out of school for sexual harassment and hate crimes for misgendering and dead naming. What are we going to have in 20 years?
Wow.
I mean, what are we going to have in 20 years? We stopped with we went from the butt whooping spanking generation to the let's put them in a corner and talk to them generation. And now we're seeing those two side by side. And I'm sorry, my kids get their butts spanked. I don't beat my children, but they will tell you, Mama will bend me over. I'm not doing it. I've heard them outside go, no. I'll get a spanking. I
You
don't
darn
want a
right.
spanking.
And I'm gonna turn
And
back to you real quick. I want to address this real quick, not to cut you off. Says
no, you're
someone,
fine.
Anthony Windley said, MRM, you told your previous chat that you and your wife had went to work and left your 2 sons home to check on them a number of times. No, I did not. Go back and watch the video. I never said went to work. I said when we went out, like if we go out to eat or out on a date. I never said to work. There's no way I would slip on something like that. It's just no. So I just want to get that out the crib. But no, go ahead. I'm glad, T-Win. I'm glad that you're saying this because I'm serious. Not to say that anybody else can add to this, but it's good to hear from a real woman's perspective. I'm just telling you, I'm saying a real woman's perspective. I like the fact that you're saying you enjoy what you're doing. It's fulfilling to you and how you spank your kids. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I'm
Please.
Old-fashioned conservative women are the one voice that I'm not hearing. Every once in a while, I mean, Liz Wheeler talks about it occasionally, but mostly it's all about, and the kids are important, but if we're going to teach our young women, our young ladies to grow up and be women, then we need to protect our women, because what are they growing up to be?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Activist and
being a woman isn't a feeling. I hate that they're like, anybody who says they're a woman is a woman.
You mean like how Macy Gray backtracked and said being a woman is a vibe?
And why do they do that? That's so disappointing. You hear someone stand up and you're like, yes, finally. And then they're like, oh, wait, my paycheck might get smaller, even though I'm already rich. And I don't understand that it's such a small segment of the community that is making such a problem for our country right now.
I said it before and I'll keep on saying it again. Ladies like you, T-Win, and any woman, period, they are coming for you guys. I mean, I'm telling y'all, I said it the other night too. The devil is playing the same exact tricks that he always played from the time that Eve got deceived. Eve, the devil did not, that Adam was sitting there holding it down in the garden all by himself, and no devil ever came messing with him.
Well,
but God created a woman, and then the devil was like, oh, wait a minute. Let me see here. This is a way I can get in here and be tricky now. I can trick her, and if I trick her, I know that I can't get to Adam, but I know somebody that possibly can get to Adam. Let me get through his wife. And I think they're going to be the ultimate goal. And that's why I tell a lot of men, we're going to have to be absolutely 100% steadfast on this, because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get to the men through the women. The Bible clearly says that a spirit will not be able to overtake a home unless it actually overtakes the strong man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one more thing before I sign off here and run off. I wanted to say, and I hope that anybody who has children in here plug their ears at this moment. There's a new trend with these trans women saying that they are better than real women, that their sex is better, their stuff is tighter. I heard this. She said, we smell better, we taste better, and we're tighter. Now, okay. I want to explain to people who don't know how the surgery works. They take a piece of a man's colon and they turn it into a vagina, and then they move the prostate gland forward so that they can have pleasure. So for all you men out there that don't think you're homosexual for having sex with the trans women, you're still fucking a man up the ass and stimulating his prostate. Pardon my French. Yeah. So you're still, no matter how you shape it, and if you think it tastes better and smell better, then you are a homosexual, because they're the ones that like that. Think about it. Homosexual men are the ones that like booties. So if you're a trans woman saying my stuff smells and tastes good, and you've got a man saying it does, and it's made out of booty, then guess what you are, dude? You're a homosexual, and that's good. Be gay, but stay in your lane. With
mic drop.
You guys have a great night. I love your I love you guys, and I want to say that you guys are my hero. You, Matt Walsh, everybody that's standing up for us women. I really love to see men say, hell no, we're not going to take this. We're going to help. We're going to stand for our women.
You darn right. And T-Win, you got to come back, sis.
I'm actually in your live chat almost every single time. This is
okay. Awesome.
Time that I was moved to lose my mind.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I got another friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. He and his wife, they got 6 kids. She's a stay-at-home mom too. You and her got the same exact type of fire. I absolutely love that. My wife will be all over this as well. I mean, I absolutely love that. So I really appreciate you being in here, and I do hope when we come onto some other subjects, I hope you come in here and add your analysis to it as well.
Yes, sir. And thank you for having me. You guys have a great
Absolutely.
and blessed evening.
Likewise, sis. Holy smoky dokey okey, guys. So you know what? With her saying that right there, though, I know that a lot of people might have been like, oh my God. But I did a video, and I don't know if you guys are in here on it or if you even seen it, Roscoe and Dante. I did a video showing people, well, more likely explaining to people that there was a guy who went from being a man to having his genitals switched and all that, and all the stuff he told that came with it blew my mind. I mean, him talking about having to pretty much put dildo up himself to keep himself stretched out, all those different things like that. Then the fact he's talking about hair still grew and the hair grew on the inside and all that, all kinds of, and what they don't show you is, like, you know, being in the medical field, we get to see the body actually rejects things. And on top of that, and I tell people, if it was a natural thing for it to be like that, why is the body trying to heal it as if it was a wound? That's what people don't get, right? I told my ears got pierced when I was like 12 years old. And when I came, I'll say when I'm 15, 16 years old, when I stopped wearing it, the hole in my ear, there's a little bit of you can see there's a little dot there, but the hole is completely closed up. Why? It's because the body still looked at that as being some type of wound, and it closed it up to heal it. So if these people don't constantly have to keep on putting what they call a dilator, which is AKA a dildo, up themselves to keep it stretched out, then it will close up and it would like pretty much try to heal itself. So even that body knows that that's not a natural thing right there. You don't hear women going around talking about, I don't know what happened, but my vagina just closed up. There's nothing there but just a glued zipper. You know, just
Okay. Yeah. Too much information there for me to handle, but that's okay.
Oh man. Oh, it's gonna get worse, Roscoe, because I've actually been working on a video. I've actually been working on a video where I'm talking with YouTube, because I'm going to be allowed to show this video of what the surgery looks like. I feel that if they are pushing this on kids, and I want y'all to let me know what y'all think of this too. If they are pushing this on kids about this transitioning over and this gender affirmation, if they're pushing that on kids and they're pushing women to get abortion, and it's already been, like I said, this thing has already been trying to get pushed on little kids in elementary school too. For one, I think they should see the videos. I think little kids, certain age, if they want to teach to me, here's the thing. If they want to put into legislation to teach these kids and show them pictures and all this stuff like that in books of how to have sex and what sex look like and what it's going to look like if you with this person, with that person, I think they should show them the videos of surgery and how they mutilate a man's penis or a woman's vagina, how they cut the boobs out. They need to see that, and let them see how it is when they crush a baby's head inside of a woman and pull it out piece by piece. Let them see all that too, and say if you want to do this or not. And let's see if they're going to consciously go, yeah, I'm all for that. I'd love to see that. What do y'all think?
Go ahead, Dante.
All right. 1000% would love to see that, because I think that some girls, when they see women having babies, and even men, when we see women give birth, we like, man, thank God I'm not a woman. So I think that, you know, that's something they should put out there. I think everybody needs to see it. And it may deter them from doing it. And then all the, you know, the after the post-op, after you do the operation, like you were saying, all the complications that come with it, they need to see all of it, you know, before they make a decision. I think a lot of people make decisions on something that look glamorous because they put it on TV and you see them looking a certain way. You think it's just going to be easy, but they don't tell the real story. So yeah, I've been praying that they should get this video on so people can actually see it, because I don't think they understand the horrors of, I don't understand why a man would want to cut off his, I just don't understand that. I mean, it's so wonderful to me. So why would you want to get rid of that? I just don't understand. I don't get it. Even Lorena Bobbitt's husband got his put back on because that's how important it was. So I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean,
he went out there and got that sucker. He dove out the window after it. You know, just kidding. What do you think, Roscoe?
Oh. As far as the surgery and everything like that, depending on the age group, yeah, why not? I mean, I can remember when I was in elementary school, like 5th, 6th grade, something like that. They showed a lot of films like on Operation of the Heart, Lungs, and all like that. And that was at the beginning of open heart surgery, you know, back in the 60s. And as I was in 4th, 5th grade, something like that, I found it was interesting. You know, now as far as the genitalia and all like that transformation. I don't know if I would find it as interesting if I was in the 5th grade now, but it might be something that needs to be shown to show them exactly what they're going to be walking into.
Yeah.
Because once you go back, they start cutting. That's it. You
Man,
won't be the same again. You will never, ever, 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 ever be the same again. And I could probably take the SWAT back and all like that. But then again, you're talking about possibly having to install something like the pump, pressurizer. Whoop, there it is. As far as being transformed back to a man or whatever.
But the thing is, with that, they lose their. I mean, they lose that. They lose that. We just gonna be real. They lose
sensitivity,
and they can't. The volcano can't explode no more.
So the feel good aspect of it, we'll say. But yeah, I mean, it's basically forever. I mean, they can be put back, but it's not going to be the same. And like you say, the body will heal itself. I've got a peg feeding tube that came out on me about a week or so ago. It's going to be coming out at the end of the month anyways, and I'm waiting for that thing to close up. Tired of having to keep a bandage on it or whatnot.
And make sure it's clean.
Make sure it's clean and all this other good stuff. I'm glad the tube's not in there. I'm glad I don't have to use it anymore. I had cancer back in last September. I think I got diagnosed with it and been working on it ever since. I think I'll beat it. We'll take care of that. But
nice.
That's neither here nor there, not part of the conversation at this point. But yeah, they need to realize that whatever they do is forever.
Yep.
And
I think that's what
would be a good way to put the point across.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that just don't get talked about, man. It's so critical because once it's done, like you said, it's done, and no one is talking about any type of long-term ramifications, no long-term effects, no long-term psychological effects, no long-term physical effects, no long-term that you're gonna have to constantly keep this thing cleaned or whatever it is you might have done to yourself. And I know women are getting like certain parts of their skin taken off and getting a fake one down there. So it's so messed up, man, because they are feeding into you pretending, and they're giving you they're not even, matter of fact, I can't even say they're giving you the parts because they're not. We're going to be real here. Keep it 100. And like I said, if you got kids in here, you probably don't want them to hear this if you got a certain kids under a certain age. No man, when he gets his parts turned over to look like a female's vagina, no man will ever know what it's like to have a penis inside of his vagina, ever. He don't have the walls. He don't have the nerve endings. He don't have the labia majora, labia minora. He doesn't have what it likes for it to get lubricated. He don't have that. Likewise, a woman does not know what it's like to have a penis. She don't know what it's like to feel the weight of a penis hanging. She don't know what it's like to feel it when you have to sit there and make adjustments if you in a car. She don't know what it's like to if somebody sat there and accidentally tapped it or something like that for it to. She's never gonna know what that's like. I'm just saying. So that's what I'm saying. It's just now that they're putting these, they're changing it around and making it look like a certain way. Again, it's the same notion that goes along with what these people are doing to themselves when they dress like that externally. Just because you may look like it superficially, it does not mean that's what it is internally. So when you get yourself changed from a man and it looks like a vagina, it still is not a vagina, and you still are not a woman. And if a woman gets her stuff taken down and get her big toe cut off and put at the end of there, it still is not going to make you a man. You don't know what it's like to be a man. You don't know what it's like to feel like a man. You don't know what it's like to actually have like the thought or the impulses when a man looks at a woman to feel a certain way towards them. You're not going to be able to have that right there. So that's my take on that right now. And I want to address this right here. Zeter said, you're not obligated to agree with it, but you are obligated to treat people with dignity and compassion and acknowledge their human rights. Now, I agree with that right there to a certain extent, and I'll see what Dante and Roscoe think on that as well. So Zeters, what I would say to this is this. I don't know when it got to a point, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but like that lady I just played, the crazy lady earlier, when she said, like, are you saying this, or you're saying that we don't, are you saying, or you're pretending? No. So what I'm saying is this, to me, I don't care what you are. If I was to run into anyone of trans, LGBTQ, if I was to run into anybody like that out in the open, if y'all spoke to me, want to have a conversation, I will speak to you. We will laugh. We will joke. We would just have a good old time, whatever like that. So I treat everybody the same. So the other thing I want to get at, when you said that you are obligated to treat people with dignity and compassion, I get that, but you have to be honest. I don't see nuclear families and straight individuals going around and demanding people to recognize them and demanding people to treat them a certain way, and also telling you guys that you need to recognize our straight flag. You know, you don't see people straight doing that. If it is, show me some videos. I will get on them too. So to me, everybody, I agree with you, need to be treated with dignity, compassion. But now when you said and acknowledge their human rights, I don't know exactly what it is that you're talking about when you say human rights, because if it is human rights, that means that's to the human race. That's not just to the LGBTQ or trans. So what do you think, Dante?
I think I'm stuck on the word "are." It's in all caps. I think when you say something like that, you're taking away, because I thought it's about choice, right? I can choose to be nice. I can choose to be angry. I can choose to be mean. It's a choice. So at the end of the day, you say be nice to these people, but I've seen some of the people being some of the meanest people in the world. When you read the Gay Manifesto, and I've read it before, it tells you there's nothing nice about how they're going to go in and take over your sons and sodomize your sons. They're going to get in the locker rooms. They're going to do all this. That's not saying please. They're saying we're going to do it. So it's kind of it's an oxymoron to me that you could say one thing and then expect something from someone else. Don't get mad when, if I look at you and you're a trans woman and I say I'm not into that as a man, I don't want to be with you. Don't say I hate you as it's transphobia. It's just not my thing. So don't say someone is obligated and put R in all caps. We have a choice. We have a choice of what we're going to do. Life is about choices. So if you could choose to abort a baby, then you could choose. If you don't want to be around the LGBTQ community, you don't have to be. If I don't choose to be around other black folk, I don't have to be. If I don't choose to be around other white people, I don't have to be. It's all a choice. So I think when you say something like that, it's like it's a double standard. It can't be both ways. I think that most people treat people with dignity and respect, as long as you don't cross boundaries with them and you don't do something they don't like. Most men don't care about men being gay. Not in 2022. Back in the day, it was a little different. But in 2022, they really don't care until that man approaches that man in a disrespectful way, and vice versa with women. So that R word just kind of triggered me. So forgive me, because I believe that everyone treats everyone with respect. Even you, Zitters, I think on this conversation, everybody's been very respectful to you, even though we have not agreed with you, you know. And so and that's why I was saying please come on, because we want to hear from you, because I think that sometimes we can put our own emotions and thoughts on messages that we read. We want to hear from you so we can kind of have a normal and a real conversation. That's, I think, what everybody wants.
Right. Roscoe.
Well, first part of what he says there, you're not obligated to agree with it. That's correct. I agree with Dante also. The R is what gets me. When I first meet somebody, okay, I'm totally open. How you doing? Nice to meet you, and all like that. And I do my best to be nice, respectful, and all like that until they don't. Now you're going to take I can be a mirror. Okay. In other words, what you throw at me is what you're going to get back. You know, that's the way I was raised. You know, if I can't say nothing nice normally, I'll just turn around, shut my mouth, and walk off. Because otherwise, you know, it's just going to go downhill from there. It don't benefit anybody. But am I obligated to treat somebody with dignity, compassion, and acknowledge their human rights? Human rights, well, yeah, what are those? I know what mine are. So I'm assuming that they get the same way. Your life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and all like that. I'll give them that as long as they give it to me. You know, and they don't have to be the first one to hand it out. I'll give it out first. I have no problem with that. How y'all doing? Dante, let's go have a cold one. Got a bunch right over here about 5 foot away in my refrigerator. More than welcome to come to my house. Let's have one. If you don't drink beer, I got sweet iced tea and pineapple juices and all like that. Been doing a healthy thing lately. You know, I don't care about color, creed, religion. Don't matter. I mean, if you're an atheist, okay, you're the one who's going to pay for it in the end, not me. I'm not going to take. We might talk about it, but you know, in the end, most atheists that I've seen and talked to, I just don't even talk to them about it because you can't change your mind.
Right.
And
No.
I'm not going to waste the time. I mean, if they want to take go meet Lucifer down there, God bless them. Go ahead. But
Yeah.
Again, the mirror analogy is basically how I am. I mean, I'll put the good foot forward. If you choose to go and hit me in the hind end with your foot, guess what? It's going to come back at you.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree. And I think that even right now is that I think, you know, like I see what Zeter's saying. I'm glad that Zeter's speaking up. I wish you would come on, Zeters. You see that nobody's hating you here, but I think like even what you're feeling right now, Zeters, is that there is some pushback. And I say this all the time on my channel a lot. This evil does not care about you like you think. Like a lot. I'm not saying you, Zeter. I'm talking about an individual. I should say the word one. This evil does not care about one like one think that it does, because in the end, it's there to kill you. Just like right now with the comment right here, Zeters, that you left right here. I'm gonna read it out. You said the only thing I want is for people to stop treating me like I'm a groomer just because I don't act the way they feel I should, even though I'm not hurting anyone. So what I'm saying to that, Zeters, is guess who put you? And I'm not saying you, but guess who put people that are gay or trans or LGBTQ? Guess who put you guys in that category? Your own kind did. I don't want to say it like your own.
Right.
Straight people did not do that to you guys. Straight people did not sit there and put you guys in the grooming category. What put you guys in the groomers category is when you have not you Zeters, but when you have drag queens and people that are trans or whatever like that, when they actually start doing these, putting on these sexy outfits and fake boobs and stuff and dancing in front of these kids and got these little kids putting money in their little bras and then they little tutus and then they little punk panties and stuff they got on. When they have these kids doing that to them, then that is grooming those little kids to actually accept it and look at that as if it's normal. No kid should be seeing no sort of sexuality like that whatsoever, whether it's coming from a trans person, a straight person. No kids should be seeing anything like that whatsoever. So with that being said, I know you say you want people to quit treating you like that, but then I can just kind of say in a little extent, welcome to how it's like to be black. Like I'm just saying, I don't want to be categorized how some towns may see black people, but I do recognize and I do know why they might look at me. If I walk around jogging pants on, you know, a hoodie or something on, and I'm in a town that have not seen a lot of black people, and all they get is a stereotype of how some black people are portrayed on TV and society, on social media, I can't blame them for thinking of me that way, because my people that are the same color as me that do a lot of those crimes are the reason. So I'm saying straight people are not the reason why a lot of people look at them as being groomers. Because I mean, you have to admit it though. I've had somebody come on my radio station that was from the gay community, and they flat out said the same exact thing, that it is absolutely ridiculous and it is absolutely wrong for anybody that is trans or drag queenish, whatever you want to call it. It is absolutely wrong for them to sit there and dance like that in front of some little children. So we got Angry Snowman in the house right there, sir. What say you? Did you disappear on us, Angry Snowman? I think he stepped away from a little bit. I'll jump on that. You can go right ahead, then I'll go to Dante.
It's a comment that Zeus just put up that kind of, I don't know if you see it. I'm kind of confused by the statement she just put up. It's like the majority of child molesters are white guys. I don't think she's talked to the black community. Pedophilia happens a lot in the black community. We don't talk about it, but it happens a lot. You know, especially amongst men, believe it or not, male children are molested just as somewhat the equal rate as females. Men, we just don't talk about it, especially if we've been molested by another man or another male. We don't talk about that. Now, another woman, we kind of will talk about it because it's kind of like we give a high five that, you know, an older woman, you know, did whatever. But when it comes to men, we really don't talk about it. So I don't know where she get that statement from, that the majority of the child molesters are white dudes. I don't understand that one. I mean, I need more evidence on that one, because coming from the black community, being a product of pedophilia, and you said something earlier, is about feel good, you know, and then you get the perks of it, you know, you get the money, you get the shoes, you get all those things. You're young and your brain don't fully develop until you're around 25 anyway. So you're thinking about things as a child. And that's why Paul say, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I acted as a child. When I became a man, some of those things that I did and why I did them began to fall off of me. So I just want her to explain that when I'm kind of him, her, they, them, whatever it is. I need you to explain that to me because I'm kind of confused.
Right. That's what it'd be so awesome if they came on here so we can kind of get that. They can just get on here and talk and say that out, because, that's one of the deals is that people throw out comments or something like that. And then, they can disappear. So it's like, to me, I see a lot of things that where it's more of a statement is being made with no real substance behind it, no real evidence or just, the statement is just made there. And then it's like a billboard, the person that might put up a billboard, you don't get to sit there and talk back to the person that put the billboard up.
Right.
What do you think, Roscoe?
Oh,
The comment.
Not really too much about. I'm trying to follow him in chat also to take and figure out, what he's talking about him being a groomer. My understanding of a groomer is somebody that's trying to, pet kids up to raise them a certain way towards lifestyle, shall we say? And if he's doing that, he shouldn't be doing that anyways. I'd love for him to come into chat.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk to him, and iron out what his concerns are and all like that. Which brings me to a point. If you'll take, I don't know if you can do this or not, but if you can take that link you have for this video chat here, put it on top of the chat box, as a sticky, might get some more people in here. If you can do
Can
that.
you hear me now?
And the one you just posted in the private chat?
Yeah, in the YouTube chat. You know what I'm talking about? The chat boxes
I
in
think
there.
you're trying to say if you could pin it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I'm trying. Let me find it.
Yeah, just pin the link up there, and we might get some more people in here.
Which link is it?
For coming in here to StreamYard. Coming in.
Oh yeah. I got you. Yeah, I got you.
There you go. You might get a better response and all like that instead of people having to go back through the thread and hunt it up. Like I said, I'd love to get him in here so we can talk about it and all like that. And really, until we do, I don't have too much to add to that because I've not been able to follow that and follow what we've been talking about also. Sorry, I'm not multi-talented like that.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Angry Snowman, welcome in here. What do you think about that, sir?
What's up, Ty? You can hear me now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Actually, I went back and I watched the video that you played at the beginning of your stream too, and I wanted to comment on that as well. First off, to what dude's talking about, I agree that everybody should be treated with respect, and dignity, but at the same time, the people that are asking to be treated with respect and dignity need to show respect and dignity to those that they're asking for it from.
Bingo.
There's this, I've noticed a serious double standard going on from the LMNOP community where they expect straight people to keep everything that is straight people showing any affection towards each other in their bedroom, in their home, and not display it for the whole world to see. But they expect everyone from that same community to be okay with them displaying their affection right out in the open for everyone to see. I'm sorry, you can't have your cake and eat it too. That is not how this works. If you're going to ask for things to be a specific way, then you need to also respect everyone else and present yourself the same way you expect everyone else to do it. I mean, that's just common courtesy and common decency. Now, if this was about, my biggest issue with a lot of this stuff is the kids. All this stuff being pushed on kids all the time. And I have, look, my brother-in-law is gay. I got 2 gay uncles. I have a lesbian cousin. So it isn't like I don't have this stuff in my family and around me on a regular basis. I don't treat them any different than if they were straight like me,
Right.
And the truth of the matter is they think the very people that these quote unquote activists are supposed to be going out and protesting for, even they think that this is getting out of control and it's becoming very disgusting and perverted. I'm sorry, if you're a teacher and you're trying to talk to a child in school about your sexuality, you're a pedophile.
Right.
Plain and simple. You have no business talking to a preschool child, a kindergartner, a first grader, a second grader. You have no business even talking to someone in high school, if you want my opinion. But at least in high school, those kids understand a little bit more about what you're talking about. But when we're talking about elementary school kids, you are literally indoctrinating them. You are telling them things, and you are giving them information that they had no clue about, nor did they ever ask for. And that's not fair to them, and it's not fair to parents.
No.
And the truth of the matter is we're taking things that used to just be natural progression of a child growing up, like girls being tomboys and boys playing with their sisters' dolls with them and or playing house and shit like this. You're taking these kind of situations and you're turning them into some, gender bending situation that it doesn't have to be. Why not? Why are you if a girl wants to go play baseball or roll around in the dirt with the boys, does she have to be a man inside? And why, if a boy wants to sit and play dress up with his sister and have a tea party with her, well, now all of a sudden he's a girl? That don't make sense. These are kids just being kids. Let kids be kids. Why are we sitting and trying to take adult situations and consistently push our narratives on kids? Because look, the reality of it is these young kids, everything they learn from us.
Yep.
Everything. It isn't something that is born inherently inside of them. It is something that we teach them, all the way from racism to sexuality. We teach our kids this stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I thought of, the guys that one has been following my channel, they know that I don't know if you know about this, Angus Snowman, but Roscoe, I know he definitely do. I play a lot of different characters, like when I do some of my comedy segments on my channel. Yeah. And one of those characters, I call it Auntie Dashika Shay. And that right there is a combination of like how my mom was and my aunt and some of the ghetto chicks I grew up with in the Chi-Town and in Decatur area, right? So, but what we used to do,
here earlier, wasn't she? She was here earlier, wasn't she?
Right.
Yeah. So what I did though is that my mom them, they noticed that, ever since I was like little, my family them, every time we would gather, like it was a family reunion, they always was, hey T, have T imitate this person, have him imitate that person. Hey, do your Uncle Joe. Hey, do your Uncle Bob. Hey, do Aunt Sue, do her. And what I'm saying that for is that I cannot imagine, like this one time, like my mom, my mom used to have these things in the hood. I don't know if a lot of people had these, they call them card games, where, they would call up a bunch of different people and they would have these card games. And what they would do is that my mom would say, okay, watch this, watch my son. I'll come downstairs, man. I have like my mom's woman's hat on and I put her heels on. I'll come down there and I'll start like going like, girl, he did not. And these people would crack up and laugh, but nobody ever said, that means that you're a girl. Oh my God.
Right.
This means that Ty is a girl. Oh, Ty, now we got to just keep this. Do you know what would have happened if they would have sat there and fed that into me and to any other dudes that when we joked around like this?
Oh, you would have been messed up.
I'm telling you. That means you're a girl. You're not supposed to be a boy, Ty. You're supposed to be a girl. That's why you like, no, I'm doing it because I like making my family laugh. They like when I do that. It's just like when I go down to put on my uncle's wig or whatever like that. I start acting like Uncle, Lumber Black Jack. I start acting like all kind of different people. That don't mean that I am them. So
so many times it's about social currency. They will get on there and say, "Oh, look, I'm so great. I have this kid that is identifying as this different gender. I'm so great. I'm so accepting," and they go shout it out on social media. It's not about the kid at all.
No.
Well,
no.
I would to touch on the video that you showed earlier. There was two comments that lady made that I wanted to hit on. The one was where she said 1 out of 5 trans people commit suicide. And when they get that statistic, do you ever notice that they never mention the statistic of why they committed suicide?
That's exactly, and that's exactly what I said in here.
It's because they cannot accept themselves for what they are. They have to look for acceptance outside, and acceptance outside, you're never going to get it.
And you notice that you never hear any of them mention all the former trans women that have actually resorted back to being men again, that have been coming out of the woodwork, talking about how they were convinced and groomed to do this transition at a young age.
It's even worse for the women who have had the surgery and everything else, because they transition back at even a higher rate because they're being pushed into it by their social groups.
And you know what? I mentioned that earlier, and you know, like then another person that was in here to confirm it, Dante confirmed that same exact thing. And what you just said about them not being able to find happiness within themselves, and they kind of hated themselves. So it was almost like it's this constant thing of looking for validation. And that's why I say about the current little activists that they're trying to push up like out in the world right now, those little social justice warriors. I call them the snow cold and color hair crew. Is that they constantly got to try to find validation within each other. Otherwise, I talk to them. I'm like, y'all know that when y'all go home, you got to go home and deal with yourself. You have to go home and deal with yourself, and you know that it's a struggle. But then you go back out amongst those ones that are like that, and y'all all try to just feed off each other. Oh, it's about love, and we just this, and we're that, and we're all about. But then when they go home, the struggle is there with the home, what they're dealing with up here upstairs. What do you think about that, the Texans? And welcome, Texan.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, brother. It's an honor to be here on this panel tonight and to be hanging out with you, brother. Let me tell you, I've been a fan of yours for quite a while now, brother.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man, honestly, the Renaissance man, I can't believe I'm here. But, oh, man, tell you the truth, Hoss, oh, my God, where do I even start? I mean, y'all covered so much tonight about it's been a transformation. I'm 52 years old, right? And I remember, and I had this conversation on my show, which that's just a thing. But anyway, in 1976, this country was 200 years old, from 1776 to 1976. 1976, I was in elementary school. And I remember the principal and all the teachers just having this big heyday and celebrating 200 years of life of this country, right? You won't get that today. There ain't no way you would have a celebration of liberty and freedom and what this country was all about. So take 1976 and compare it to 2022, what they're teaching in the schools and what they're doing, man. That's where all this breaks down at, you know. Honestly, that's where the brainwashing begins, is in elementary school. I remember the pride and the joy. I didn't know what it meant. I really didn't know what it, and I had to turn, to the adults, the teachers, and the principal, and how proud they were. You think they're that damn proud today? No, they're not that proud today. There's been a shift. There has been a, what do you say? There's been a shift. There's been a poisoning of the school system and of our children's minds and attitudes towards this country, and all that it was really founded on. And people really don't understand the real foundation of this country and what the founding fathers meant.
It's been an attack for the last 50 years.
Man, it's been more than 50 years. I'll tell you what, I'm not here to promote my show, but I'm going to tell you right now, I look into history. I love history. And I did a show not too long ago, last week, about the Constitution and the intent of the founding fathers, and how
it's been under attack since it was founded.
You dang straight it has, man. It has. But how centralized power had to be given to the government to protect liberty. And these founding fathers were so amazing. The stuff that they had to take into consideration and what they went through, right? I mean, they knew that they hated central power in government, but they also hated democracy. They also hated parties, Democrat, Republican, whatever parties. They hated it, but they had to come to an agreement. And only 55 out of 55 people, only 39 signed the Constitution, believe it or not. It's amazing what they went through. And even they agreed to this day. Okay, every decent scholar that understands the Constitution, what the founding fathers' intents were, today, we are still the great experiment, and we have not resolved all the issues that they wish they could have resolved before they passed away.
You are correct. You are absolutely correct.
Absolutely. Sir. Dylan made a comment here, and I want to say this real quick. The bird lady, I saw you in the green room here, sis. So if you come back, all I gotta do is just press a button to kind of put somebody like in the backstage and bring you on if you want to come back in here again. This comment right here says most of them had slaves, great minds. You can judge a person's intelligence by their morals. Dylan, no, they did not. Out of the 56 founding fathers, only 15 of them did. So that most of them had slaves is totally false. That's wrong. Just want to throw that out there. No, they didn't.
Well, and then
And
not
most
to
of the
not to
ones
not
that did had slaves, they wanted
Inherited
to free
them.
them, but they were unable to free them until their death, and only their slaves, not any inherited slaves from a marriage or anything.
No, and on top of that, like a lot of people don't know, I think it was Thomas Jefferson, who everybody wants to get on, as he did not free his because he said he did not want to break up their family. So he kept them there so they can stay with their family. But nobody talks about that either.
Well, and Thomas, like he's saying, Thomas Jefferson's slaves were given to him by his father-in-law anyhow.
Yep. Inherited. He did not sit there and go out and find them and just bought them or anything like that. So that means it kills a lot of the narratives, but they don't talk about stuff like that.
Well, the thing is with that too, man, is you can't really sit and condemn people for doing things that was part of the normal way of life back then. Are we going to sit here and condemn all the African leaders that had slaves then too? Because if we are, we might as well condemn them. We might as well. Can I finish?
Are we going to condemn all the societies that have slaves today? I mean, there's more slaves today than there were 200 years ago.
Right. Go ahead, Angry.
I know I probably took this conversation off the rails, but man, I got to tell you something. Okay. It's just like Thomas Paine said, government at best is a necessary evil. Okay. And the founding fathers knew that. And by the way, if you really take a look at the Constitution and you read it, that was the nail, the final nail in the coffin to end slavery here in the United States. It began there. I'm sorry it didn't happen overnight. I'm sorry it didn't happen on your watch. But the truth is, when the Constitution was written, it said we the people, and it says all men. And, you know, it talks about God. That was they had to change generations of minds and mindsets and to create the government that we have today. It didn't happen overnight. And I'm telling you guys, I know what I'm talking about when I say this, that once the Constitution, those words were written, those men signed on to it, and they pledged their lives, their fortunes, everything they had, which they did lose, by the way, and most of them lost their lives and were hung by the British, that they guaranteed freedom to all men and all women. The United States is not even 300 years old yet. There's countries that are thousands of years old, like China, and and nobody has ever done what these men did. And it took a little while for it to transform. The Civil War was set in motion at the point that the founding fathers signed that document.
And it only took 3 generations to get to that point.
We're talking 1776 to the 1800s to 1880s. That's how long it took for this country to split itself, father against son, son against brother. I mean, and we went to war. We are the only country that's ever done that in the history of this, or the written history of this planet.
Yep, and that's why even right now, 200 some plus years and counting, that our Constitution is the only one that has not been changed. But right now,
to be exact,
man, up there, look at that, 246 years, and it has not changed. So from what I've studied and what I've seen on that, that's definitely was some divine intervention going on there. And of course, we got people right now that want to try to.
So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go check out Ocnation stream. It's starting. He's going to be talking about those kids that were coming after the cops and other topics. So,
I did that the other day. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here, Johnny Rapp.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. So we have Miss Bird Lady in here. I wanted to get her in here. I know she was hanging out in the green room for a minute. I wanted to know what her thoughts was. You can bring up whatever it was that you was going to come in here and initially say on that, sis, and welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep, real good.
All right. Try a different connection tonight.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. The texting kind of threw me for a loop there when the comment came up about slavery and everything, and it kind of aggravates me a little bit because I understand what our ancestors went through. Slavery happened, it did happen, but it just kind of bothers me that we keep reverting back to that and not acknowledging the opportunities that we have now. Me being a Black woman, getting my second degree, we own our house, we're building another one, we have land. And even though slavery was, like I said, jacked up, we can't keep going and leaning on that because we're not there anymore.
Salute to you, sister.
I agree. I agree 100%. But that's where society is at today, and that's what the mainstream media has got us divided by, and still wants to jack with us and divide us as a nation. Not only through sexuality, like this transgender BS that they're doing, but also through our heritage. And people listen to the mainstream. Let me tell you something about the mainstream media, y'all. Mainstream media is not ever going to tell you or show you anything they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know the truth. You got to seek the truth, and you got to find the truth on your own.
Yeah, that's why even then, I think what a great famous guy said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Make you free.
Make. That means it's going. That means that's not instantaneous. That means it's going to take some time. And I think his name was Jesus or something like that. Some guy like
Something like that. It's close.
He said something like that. That you said, and you shall know. That means you as an individual needs to seek that out yourself, right? So I mean, that's one of the things I think. You know what? To me, I tell people all the time, whether you are black or white, whatever the case may be, the fact that mainstream media feels so openly that they can tell you anything with the intentions that they're going to feel like you are going to believe it, that should be an insult on your intelligence. They think that you are that dumb and that naive that they can just throw out anything and folks going to believe it. And that's why I tell people right now, to those of us that have faced any type of trauma, to those of us that have faced any type of hurt, if I was to tell everybody, and I know I did this the other night, folks, I know, but some people are in here that wasn't here, so it's going to be fresh to them. But I told people before, if you was to reflect back on any moment in your past of something that definitely hurt you really bad, once you find yourself really contemplating and thinking on that, you find your heart rate going up. You find yourself getting mad. Sometimes you even find yourself acting out. I don't know if y'all ever did this. I know I've done before where my wife looked at me like, "What are you doing?" Because I will sit there and I'll drive and I'll think about something that happened in the past and I'll find myself actually acting like I'm in the moment. I'll sit there and, "Yeah, you go ahead and do it. Watch me knock your teeth out your mouth." My wife like, "What are you doing? Who are you talking to?" I was like, I was thinking back whenever I fought this dude in the 8th grade. But the point is that the reason why I was acting that out, the reason why I felt that is because I experienced it. So it just drives me nuts when I hear people out there, especially, I don't care who you are. You are not a slave, but when I hear people out there, "Man, look what they did to us and what they did." Dude, you acting like they did. You acting like you was there, like you felt it, like you
lived through it.
Experienced, right? But then yet at the same time, you say, "What is going on right now?" Like the sis said, I get what happened back then, but what about right now? See, they don't want that though. They want, see, the thing is, because if I can keep you in that mindset of trying to live a trauma that you've never done and it's act like it's happening to you right now, then I can get you to respond as if it's happening right now. But then if you flip it and say, "Hey, well, who just killed those people up there in Chi-Town? Who just killed those people in Baltimore? Who just killed those people in Philly?" Well, no, see,
let's
there you
not
go,
talk about
man.
that.
No,
Let's
there
not
you
talk
go.
about that.
There you.
The
That's
thing
in-house
is,
problems that we're working on.
we don't like to talk about what we do to each other.
I can
That's
talk
one
about my
thing
mama,
that,
but you can't.
yeah, we don't like to talk about that. If we're realistic, I'm actually working on a video called "Do Black Lives Really Matter?" And what I wanted to talk about is how, we, get, and I'm gonna say we because I'm part of the Black community, we
Oh
get
yeah, black
so
people.
outraged when a person who, wasn't really complying gets shot and killed by a cop. But when I live in Georgia. In the city that I live in, we have murders like crazy in the city
Where
that
do
I
you
live
live?
in.
I'm sorry. Where do you live?
I live in Macon, Georgia.
Make.
Yes, and the crime here is bad. The young kids, they're killing each other, they're robbing each other, they're doing all these types of things to each other. But we don't ever really want to talk about that. you know, you don't see people marching when it comes to black on black crime. We don't see people outraged when it comes to black on black crime. Yes, are there some problems with the justice system? Of course there is. It's not perfect, but we have to look inward. If we don't love and we don't respect ourselves, how do we expect someone else to love and respect ourselves? I went through a very bad situation where I had to move in what they call the hood. And but where I was living, this home that I was renting at the time, you know, I was trying to get on my feet. I had flowers, vegetables. I had it just I took pride in my home. When there was trash across the street, and there was a police officer who told me, he said, he caught me outside one day. He said, I always want to know who live here, because this house looks like it doesn't belong. You look like you actually care about your neighborhood. You look like you actually care about your community. And we had a whole conversation. If we don't care about our own community, our own lives, how do we expect someone else to?
Right. You know, and
That's
I want you to also know that there's white ghettos just like that all across America. There really are. I mean, this whole delusional thing about white people having the best of everything. No, I'm sorry. There are a lot of white ghettos all over this country that you would not want to go into either, because it's filthy, it's disgusting, and nobody has pride in what they have.
I'm still waiting to get my white privilege card, and I don't know who's
Oh,
going to
I
sign
got
it, but I'm
mine.
still waiting to get it. You know,
I got mine. It just got rejected everywhere I tried to use it.
Oh man, that's crazy. I want to.
Hey, I lost my black card a long time ago, so hey.
Mine got stolen by Pookie anyway when I was standing in the hood. So I mean, I'm just.
But you know, your guy's comment you got highlighted. First off, he needs to understand that actually white
I
people
was just getting ready to hit on that. Let me read that real quick. Angry. Okay, this Justin Murray, who I invited to come onto the panel as well. He said, "Why do white people doubt white supremacy despite being 80% of the population?"
Well, first
I
off,
think they're 60, not 80.
Yeah, they're just a little over 60% of the population in the United States, and declining as we speak. As a matter of fact, I mean, they're actually they actually are predicting that the white population is going to be under 50% and probably become the minority in this country within 20 years.
Well,
because they are not reproducing like they were.
Well, I've got a question. What does actually the percentage make? I mean, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, I guess what he's trying to insinuate is because if white people are 80% of the population and they control 80% of the jobs, the product, the revenue, everything going on in this country. I'm sorry, but that ain't the case. Black folks, and actually people of all races, if you look at how they are represented in our federal Congress and in every state Congress, they are all equally represented by the numbers. You know, what do we have, like in the Senate? Is it like 15 or 20 black folks in the Senate now? In the House, there's probably out of the 400 that's in there, there's probably about 60 or 70 black folks in there. That's what, anywhere between 18-20%, which is what the black population makes up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so everybody in this country is equally represented by who they are in these political bodies. You know, so to sit and say that white supremacy is what's going on in this country, that's not the case. What's going on in this country is a have and have not problem. We got the wealthy trying to control and keep the middle class, and what they've been doing is they've been trying to eradicate the middle class altogether and make it the haves and the have-nots.
Right, and that includes every ethnic background. I mean,
right.
I don't care who you are; they want us gone. Like you said, they want the haves and the have-nots. They don't give a damn what color you are, where you come from. They could care less.
Right. Let me get this super chat real. Said bro, said great panel tonight. Appreciate that. Said, and if I'm able to get you on here, I'll definitely invite you on here, my friend. And we have Justin Murray actually in here. So Justin, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, that was the answer. Oh
yeah, I want to. Yeah, I want to know. I guess where we, of course, you posted your comment right there. But if you want to expound upon that a little bit, go right ahead.
I mean,
just like
basically, it goes deeper than just like business owners or people in the Senate. Most of police officers, most land ownership, most judges, most, we can say 20 and 30 people here and there, but how much of the things how many things that we actually want that the government, 70% of the country want free college, basically, according to polls or whatever. How much of the agenda is basically not getting focused on just because it's just a monumental gap between 12% of the population and 80% of the population.
Why
So basically,
can I ask you a question?
okay,
Why should the taxpayers have to pay for people to go to college for free?
because in other countries, okay, so basically in China, they have
This ain't
more.
China.
Okay, hold on. Can I answer the question? They have more engineers than the entire population of this country. So do you like how can we compete with countries who want their citizens to be intelligent? We can't compete with that. So basically we're making ourselves a second class nation by and I am a capitalist and I am a Republican. I support the Constitution. But at the same time, you know, it's some things that are y'all really not putting into measure when you're saying, oh, there's no such thing as white supremacy. Oh, there's no such thing as like an institutional type of racism.
What's your definition of white supremacy?
See, it's not necessarily like a supremacist thing, like it's something negative. White people took care of their people like they were supposed to do. Black people were supposed to do the same thing, and we didn't. And that's not y'all fault necessarily, but at the same time, y'all are 80% of the population. So can we be real? Like, just be
But
realistic?
we're not. We're
like,
not 80%.
realistically,
We're about 61%.
you're the majority. So,
But you still didn't answer what your definition of white supremacy is.
My definition of white
before we can even have a
just,
discussion, we gotta agree on a definition.
I mean, we can try to like play politics or try to like redefine the words over and over and over again. But I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily a supremacy thing, like it's something evil. It's just like a dominance thing,
So let me ask you something real quick, Justin. If you think about it, like I understand where you were coming from, but if you think about it, it almost like the way that you just worded it and everything, it almost like you made it, not that it's a white supremacy thing, but it almost made it like it was actually a black inferiority thing.
No, definitely not.
Wait, you said white people take care of their own, right?
We don't have the numbers.
Right,
That's
right.
all I'm saying.
I got you, but you said the white people, you said it seems like it because you said white people seem like they take care of their own, right?
Historically.
Right. So then if black people are not, I don't think that we should say that's because of white supremacy. Could it be possibly because of black inferiority? And then I'm just throwing it out there. And then the other thing I would like to throw out there too is when you mentioned it about China, do you know what China prides themselves on first and foremost?
Listen, I don't respect China at all, but I only said that to make the point that we need intelligent people. And listen, I agree with what you're saying as far as critical thinking is very important. But if we don't have critical thinkers,
who is we?
The United States. You get what I'm saying? If we don't have intelligent people, I'm talking, it doesn't matter what color we are because we're all here. But if we don't have intelligent people, we're like gonna be at the mercy. Like our kids are gonna be at the mercy.
You just hit the point right there. Wait. That's what Jesse. That's what I was gonna ask you when I said, do you know what China pride themselves on? So I wasn't gonna go into their doctrine and everything like that, but what China does and a lot of other countries pride themselves on, number one is family, and that right there is the number one key right there, my friend. If it all comes down to it, it's going to come down to a family that got that father and the mother in the home that puts an expectation on their children to absolutely 100% be and do something. But if they don't have that, my friend, then that's why we can see what we have going on right now. We're actually being encouraged to murder our children, and we're actually being celebrated to murder our children, dude. Amongst like from the hood, we are celebrated in our music to sit there and wish a nigga would. We sit there and we've been celebrated that I got beans and golds. We're celebrated for that. So in China, they don't even allow that stuff to even happen like what we got.
Yeah,
like,
well, and let's be honest real quick for a second. I think there's a lot of taxpayers in America that probably wouldn't have no problem with some of these government programs going away and being replaced with paying for people to go to college if they were going to college to be engineers or going to
Right.
college to be in some STEM field. But I am not going to be okay with paying for a kid to get a liberal arts degree so he can turn into some liberally indoctrinated prick and run around giving all this left-wing rhetoric destroying our nation. I'm not doing it.
For sure. I mean,
I,
I understand
I,
that, and I don't
I would,
support. Go ahead.
I would like to address it real quick, if you don't mind, about the white supremacy
Let
thing.
me just say something real quick. After the Texan go, then we'll go to Bird Lady, then we'll go to Roscoe. I haven't heard from y'all yet.
Okay, sorry, guys.
You good.
So 80%, so you say, of America is white. Well, that means 80% of white Americans elected the first black president. Period.
Okay,
Bottom line.
why do y'all always bring that up like that's like that's something of value? That has zero value. But go ahead, you can continue.
What would have value then?
No, it's not about the president is like a figurehead. Like right now, the last president can't even speak.
You want to know why a lot of us old heads bring it up?
The power you think.
You want to know why a lot of us old heads bring that up?
You don't. I know you know the president has zero power.
Listen, you want to know why a lot of us old heads bring up that we had a black president? Because we heard our whole life that when there's a black president, then we can talk about this country being equal.
Who cares? Everybody didn't become president. Only one person,
Bill Clinton was
one black
the first
person
black
became
president,
president. Everybody else still have to live in the shit. Honestly, like just in all honesty,
It's amazing how that's dismissed.
To me, that just seems like another one of them situations where nothing's good enough, and you're just going to make more excuses.
That your black president didn't make not one law for any black person that protects us just by ourselves. You get what I'm saying? But for gay people, man, it doesn't even matter. But that didn't help us. That just relieved y'all of y'all guilt because y'all made a black president.
Guilt of what?
Because y'all made a black. Y'all the one who always bring it up. We don't bring that. I didn't bring that up. I never bring that up as a point that y'all gave us a quote unquote black president. Who cares? Like we don't even choose. The Electoral College chooses the president. We don't even choose. Like that's irrelevant. It's like that made me mad because why do you bring that up? Like that means something. That means zero.
Because it
in
does
a conversation
mean
as far as
because
like,
when it comes to diversity
old.
in this country, that does actually mean something. It means that this country is moving forward and is taking a new step.
Diversity doesn't mean anything if somebody doesn't want you there. Affirmative action doesn't mean anything if they don't want you there. It doesn't mean anything because they'll just make either your life a living hell or they'll just hire other people over you that they can see is subservient or that they can see is a certain type of way or a certain type of person.
So you're a perpetual victim.
No,
Yes.
definitely not. Definitely not. I'm a business owner. I'm self-employed. I have never.
Let me guess, you're another one of those six-figure brothers that get on here and complain about white supremacy and oppression.
No, I'm not complaining. It's not white supremacy and suppression. Y'all took care of y'all people. Black people should have did the same thing.
That's the thing is you guys say y'all took care of your own people. Where does everybody get this issue? Where do you get this talking point that white people take care of their own people? White people don't take care. You know what? When there's crappy people, like when we have crappy members of our family and society, you think we sit and take care of them? No, we toss them off to the side. We get away from them. Why do you think there are white ghettos? Because that's where they need to stay, away from the collective.
Okay, I mean,
I'm going to step back because I like to hear from the rest of the panel.
Listen, it's so many videos that I can if I don't have the time, nobody has time to show you all the instances of white people taking up for their people where my people would have been killed. But I'm not saying, listen, hold on. It doesn't matter that you can't see it. I'm telling you that it does happen. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that white people are wrong in every situation. All I'm saying is, why are you all acting like you all are not the majority when you clearly are the majority? And y'all basically own so much of the land, so much of the industry, so much pretty much everything is pretty much the airlines, white people, distribution, white people or Chinese people, which is y'all work together. So it's you got to understand. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. On a down to earth kind of street level without all the political jargon and everything. And
any
we
black millionaires and billionaires in this planet?
What do you mean? What did you say?
Are there any black millionaires and billionaires in this
What does
country.
that mean? What does that mean?
Well, I guess you need to check it out because there's a hell of a lot more than what you think there is.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but what does that mean? There's black and white. There's all different type
That's
up
why
there.
I
And
said that the
all
dude
I'm
needs
saying
to
is,
he needs to
if
define
you
white
listen,
supremacy in order for him to
white
even make an
supremacy
argument.
is, let's say white majority. Then how about that? Is that more? Can you get it now? I mean, not can you get it now? Do you understand what I'm saying as far as white majority?
Okay, I got. So now, what I want to do too, because I said I want to hear Bird Lady. What are your thoughts right now?
I mean, I understand what Justin is saying. I definitely get what he's saying. I think what the difference is when it comes to values in education. A lot of things that are valued in the white community, they aren't really valued in the black. We're not
That's true.
taught in the black community. I grew up. I mean, you can look up a town called Soperton, Georgia, a little bit of small town, and as a little girl, and then I'm only 38, so this is not
Okay,
like this was in the 50s
so
and
Miss
60s.
Bird Lady, it's okay.
Yes.
Look, we don't have to. I know y'all got a whole show to continue. I just want to hear from like the three white people on the panel. Do you all
Oh,
not
you
hold a
want to hear from me? Okay.
Wait,
No,
you
no,
don't want to
no.
hear? Wait, time
Do,
out. Hold
no,
on.
do
Oh,
you
no,
all?
no, no, no.
No,
You
Wait a
do
minute.
you
Hell
Wait a
all?
no.
minute.
I'm about to mute
No, I
myself.
just
Wait.
wanted to. I just
Wait,
wanted
time. Wait,
to.
you just got done saying how we don't support each other and lift
No,
each other up, but then you don't want to
Right.
hear from the sister.
I get
Hold
what
Right.
you're
on. Wait,
saying,
wait,
but
wait,
I
wait,
didn't want to
wait a
go
minute. Just
back. I just
I
wanted
mean, he just
people.
answered his own question.
I just wanted people to. I just wanted to see if the three people will answer my question. Are you all the majority of this country?
Nobody
also
ever disagreed. I said that we were
Okay,
the majority when I said we were
that's all I
61% of the
wanted
country.
clarification on. That was my original question. My original question was why do white people not think that it's a white supremacy thing, or even a white majority type of thing?
Because
And
supremacy means that you have control and over someone and nobody is controlling you.
well,
You control you.
you all have the majority and major control or major stakes in
let
like
me.
so
Kind
many
like black folk
companies.
have over in Africa, right?
I
They got
mean,
the majority
we
over
can't
there.
really talk about Africa because they've been
Oh, because it
destroyed
doesn't
so
Oh,
apply
many
but
to
you could
your
bring
times.
up China when you wanted to make your
thesis.
argument.
Okay.
I'm saying they've been destroyed so many times. How can we speak on Africa when countries have been coming into Africa, invading them for hundreds of years, literally hundreds of years, like covertly
Thousands,
and
actually, but yeah.
directly.
So
Thousands,
Ye-
yeah, correctly,
okay, so
thousands. That's okay. Like
so okay,
if I'm wrong, I'm okay with admitting it.
so then is it? Would you say that the NBA and the NFL is black supremacy?
I would say yeah, only because listen, it's not our like that's what's like glorified in our community. So more of our people basically gravitate to that. Like my brother,
So
he's
wait,
six.
okay, I got you. So
Listen,
wait,
hold
it
on,
has
let me finish.
nothing.
My brother is like six. He's like six something, and his only objective, like he doesn't even like to go to school anymore. He only wants to play sports because that's what they tell you in our community: play sports or rap, or that's it, or die. You know what I mean? So
So
it's like
it has nothing
if
to
you
do with their talent and their ability. It has everything to do with.
talent beat hard work all day.
Wait, so all of these, I mean, we just keeping it
I
real
mean,
here,
hard
y'all.
work
So
beat talent
when
all
we
day.
see like the
That's a
Olympics and
fact.
we see like NFL and the NBA, and you see that black people are dominating that, and that's only
Okay.
because it's not about our talent or ability. It's just
What it is talent ability, but it's also because that's what's promoted in our community. So the thing that you focus on, the younger that you are, you're gonna be better at that when you get older.
so. What about the
Other
black ones
other
that actually aspire to do that, but they don't have the talent or the ability? What's their issue?
They just didn't put in the time, or they really don't have the talent.
Or yeah, they really just not qualified, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what about like a place where I'm from? My ancestors, Jamaica. Now, if you went to there, would that argument stand there?
As far as what?
So is Jamaica a black supremacist country?
I mean, it's a black ran country. It's a black majority. It's not
So that
when I
means
say
there's black supremacy?
when I say supremacy, I mean that it's a
You said the
majority.
majority.
That's not
It's
supremacy, though.
okay, so that's why we clarified it. I thought we clarified it like 10 minutes ago that
Well,
I
you
said
keep saying
majority.
blacks. You keep saying supremacy.
I
So
never
that's why I
said
said.
supremacy. He said supremacy.
Your original comment.
Yeah, I know, but we clarified. That's why I was saying I didn't mean supremacy as something evil or diabolical. Supremacy, I mean, is the majority. Y'all have basically the majority. Like that's just like that's we can't dispute that. So it's like with that being said, why do you all not understand that if y'all are even if y'all are 61% of the population and we are 12% of the population, I mean, it's still you still can't say that it could possibly be a disparity. It could possibly be a lot of people in y'all's race of people or y'all classification that don't necessarily like black people. Can we admit that? Like, it might be people in power that don't necessarily like black people, even though they say they do. Can we admit that? Can we not be naive? Like this stuff doesn't happen.
Okay, what's your point?
Okay, can we admit it though? Is this a yes
Yeah,
or a
what's
no?
your
You're saying,
point?
okay, that's the point. That was
But
my
what's your
point.
point of it? What are you
I
trying to
said,
prove by saying that
I said,
people?
why do
What are you
white
trying to?
people?
Well, my question is what are you trying to prove by someone admitting that yes, there's going to be white people that don't like black people, just like yes, there's going to be black people that don't like white people, just like yes, there's going to be indigenous people that don't like
Because
none of
the
us.
thing about it is, when white people don't like black people, like y'all are in some. A lot of times, it's in a position of power. I don't care if you don't like me and you live next door to me. Who cares? But if I need a job and you don't like me, that's a problem. If I need a
Ah,
if I need to get, I don't need a job. I don't actually work, but my son may want to work. My brother may want to work. I don't work anymore. So it's like, but I just wanted to ask y'all
You
questions about
obviously
this.
don't do a lot of hiring and firing because if you did, you would know
I
what kind
actually
of
do.
what kind of stipulations are put on business owners as to how they can hire and fire
I
people.
am a business owner and I do hire and fire.
so do you have stipulations on yours that says that you actually have to promote your business to minorities?
Yeah, most definitely.
So that's a stipulation that's on you, right?
But listen, if I was someone that did not like black people, I would just hire somebody like, okay, I'm gonna give you an instance. I worked in an electric company a couple of maybe 10, 12 years back, something like that. I worked in an electric company. Okay. Um in this electric company, well, I consider myself like a really I'm a hard work type of person. That's my gift, my hard work. So I work hard. Yeah, I'm about my work. I don't take breaks. I just work. So, long story short, I had, it was some racism that happened there. Not even racism. You know, white dude called me an N word. Another white dude actually told me that this had happened. You know, so I called the boss. Told him, what had happened. Now, on anybody else's job, he would have been terminated because I had, witnesses and everything. But this is the boss's nephew, I think it was. It's not that big a deal. It's not a victim type of thing. It made me stronger. It doesn't hurt me. But what I'm saying to you is, it
It
could have
has to
hurt
have been a big
somebody
deal, or
else.
you wouldn't be talking
I've
about it.
Go
I've got
ahead.
a point to make if you don't
Okay.
mind.
It was an
Man,
example.
if the roles were reversed,
Okay.
you were in my shoes
The
and I was in
world was
your
not
shoes,
reversed, but okay.
I would be considered a racist on everything you just said if I took your point of view and
Okay.
then yeah, I mean
I
you're a
am.
racist, dude. That's what it
I
is. I mean,
am.
admit
I
it.
guess if that's what you want to call it. But I believe that everybody should take care of their own people. And as far as the black community, white community,
Well, then
whatever,
why are you mad at white people for not
I'm
taking
not
care of the
mad at
black
white
community?
people. I never
Why are
said
you up
that.
here
I
talking
said
about white people that took
why.
care of their own
I
and
said
shit?
why do
But that's the
y'all
problem.
not?
We're
Why do
Americans all
y'all
together
doubt
and we
white
should take care of each
supremacy?
other.
Why you
See,
all
So
doubt
okay,
white?
this might not be you, Justine Murray. Am I saying your name right, by the way?
Yeah, that's correct.
Justine. Okay, so I mean this I got a question for you. Um, are you of the Christian faith?
Most definitely.
You are.
Yes.
So then what I would say to that, then if you are really of the Christian faith and you really are into it,
Hmm.
then those colors would have no purpose in this at all, because if we're all in God's kingdom, we're supposed to be taking care of that kingdom, and that would
Okay,
eradicate
so
any
it
type
just
of
depends
color.
on what you mean by actually Christian, because the New Testament is something different from the Old Testament.
So who did Jesus die for? Only black people, white people, or all?
So I mean, I mean,
Black people, white people are all.
Listen, if you believe in Jesus, then that's something that you believe in. But I believe in the Bible, which is
Because Jesus is not in it.
Yeah, Jesus is in it, but it's
What did he do? What was the ultimate sacrifice that he did?
And we can get all into the hypothetical about that. I mean,
no, that's not hypothetical. That's the Bible. That's the
I mean, that part specifically that part specifically is hypothetical, but the Torah and the books before that, they hold a lot of weight. But the New Testament after Malachi,
you're one of those real black Israelite guys, aren't you?
I've read the entire Bible.
4%er?
But no, I'm not a 4%er. I'm not in it.
I was talking to whatchamacallit. I thought he was saying that's what you was. But what I'm saying is that if you saying that you believe in the Bible and you consider yourself Christian has the word Christ in it, that means you're going to be Christ-like. So if
Christ couldn't have been a Christian because he wasn't crucified. So
you said Christ wasn't crucified?
Listen.
Wait. I want you to wait. Yes, wait. Time out. Wait.
Been a Christian.
Wait. You said Christ
didn't even come into play until after Christ was crucified.
You said, oh wait, I thought you said Christ wasn't crucified.
No, there are books that say that Christ wasn't crucified. But we.
So then, if that's the case, okay, right. So I mean, what I'm going to say to that though, if that's the case, then when the Bible says, if you believe that he is the Christ and that he did die, then you shall be saved. So then what that means is that you will be denying that then.
As far as what?
As far as you saying if Christ didn't go to the cross and die and you're denying that, then there's no way you can say you're Christian or that you because he said that's
so if I read the Bible, what do I say?
What do you mean?
If I read the Bible, then what do I say? I am.
What do you mean? There's people that read the Bible that just there's scholars that read the Bible. Yeah. I'm just trying to no, I don't want to flip it up.
So
I just want to
I don't necessarily believe that Jesus was like factual, but that means I don't believe in God.
No, I didn't say that. I just said that there's no way that you can profess to be of the Christian faith if you didn't believe that Jesus actually died on the cross, because that's what it says. The way that we actually that's the way that we become saved is believing that he died on the cross for our sins. And if you don't believe that, then there's no way you can say that you're Christian. I didn't say that. That's Bible. Because it says if anybody come preaching any of the other gospel than what we preaching you, and that's Christ crucified, then let them be accursed.
I mean, the Bible says a lot of different things. The Bible also says the Ethiopian Bible also says that Jesus wasn't crucified. He was taken up into heaven. So it's a lot of books that we can read if we actually want to speak on actual facts. But I just wanted to know, was white people a majority? That's all. That's the only thing I want to know.
So white people in America is a majority.
People. We need to take care of our people. The Mexican need to take care of their people. It's like, and that's what's so crazy about it.
Would you call when you said that those people called you when you say on your job, whenever that dude called you the N-word, and you say whether it was racist or not, you said it didn't bother you. So don't they go along the lines of him being is that discrimination to you too, though, right?
No, it's not necessarily discrimination, but when I first got the job, I knew he was already racist because when I first got the job, I originally started in my pay. I was only making $12.60. As soon as I got there, as soon as he seen who I was and that I had dreads, he said, I don't think you're worth the $12.60. I think you're worth
already. He discriminated already.
Hold on. He said, I don't think you're worth this was before he called me the N-word.
So he discriminated first.
Hold on. He said, I don't think you're worth the $12.60. Would you take $11 an hour? I said, no, I won't. You know what I'm saying? I said, the boss told me that he would give me $12.60, so that's what I was going to work for. You got me out of town, and you told me that I'm out of town. I'm in Kentucky, and you telling me that you're trying to take $1 from me, and I'm like, not even like I'm poor at this time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. I don't know if you cannot understand like how that would mess somebody up. Then that's your like.
Oh, trust no. I got you, bro. I got you. But I was just saying, I'm just trying to make a point that whenever the guy first saw you, see, because I as a director, I hire folks, and it said we cannot base our hiring based off of a person's race or religion or sex or age. So they call that discrimination. So whenever he looked at you and said you had the dreads and all that, let me finish. He said that you said that you said that he did those things to you before you even got hired on. Then you said he called you the N-word. So he was already discriminating against you already. And then when he dropped the N-bomb, you can say that he was racist. So the reason why I'm saying that and I'm summing it up for is because when I said, if we are saying that we are Christian and we are in God's kingdom and there is no race, it's the same exact thing, no discrimination. So what I'm saying that for is to say that white people should take care of their people and black people should take care of their people. That already sets up room for discrimination right there, because in God's kingdom, there is no color.
Listen,
at all.
but you're telling me that we can have borders, but we
What's
can't have like cultural like guidelines? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I didn't say that. You just said that.
I'm saying
America
that's
is a
basically
culture.
what you're saying.
No,
So the
you
color
said
of the
that.
Bible.
You didn't hear me say nothing about no borders. You just
All right.
said that.
So okay, man. All right. Thank you though. I appreciate you. You know, because I it's no, you're gonna keep asking me questions about basically nothing.
Really?
I think Justin, don't take this the wrong way, but I think there's some lack of understanding going on there, man. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not saying that to be. I don't want that to come off as being condescending, because I'm definitely not that way. But yeah, I'm just saying when you deeply into this spiritual walk, and I can see that there might be some things that somebody might have said to you that kind of might have thrown some things off, especially if they're trying to throw different doctrines in there when it relates to that Bible, which I can completely understand.
The Bible is
but,
true, but I've read. Listen,
wait a minute, the Bible is true, but you said the Ethiopian Bible says something else about the Bible.
I know for a fact that I've read more of the Bible than you have. That's
You
what I'm
do?
trying to tell you.
That's a bold
Like,
claim.
I've read the entire Bible. And
That's a
I've
bold
read
claim
the
there.
Quran. I've read so many other different type of books because I got tired of reading.
So when
So
it
it's
said
like,
that if any man come preaching any other gospel than what we preach, let it be a curse to him.
listen,
But you
I
said you're reading
understand what the Bible is. I
No,
understand
you
your
don't. You don't
translation.
understand.
I
No,
understand your
that's not my
translation.
translation. I'm just telling you what the Bible said.
What we
That's
have
the
here is
translation.
a
That's what I'm
failure
saying.
to
The Bible has
communicate.
been translated 2,600 times, sir. So I'm
Some
trying to
people
tell
you
you.
just can't reach.
Okay, listen. The Bible has been translated 2,600 times. I was actually raised a Jehovah's Witness, so it's like it's nothing you can tell me about the Bible.
That explains
I
everything. I was friends with the Jehovah's Witness, so I get it now.
no, it's
What
good.
do
I mean,
you
it's cool.
what's the get?
There nothing at all, Justin. It's cool, man. I mean, I hope you continue to come in here. I think you was trying to let yourself out, which is fine with me. I mean,
That's all I really wanted to know was are white people a majority? You know,
white people are a majority here in America.
Right.
Black people are a majority in Africa. White people are a majority in Russia. White people are a majority in Australia.
Those are Serbs in Russia, not white people.
They look white to me.
It's like, but y'all all white people when y'all come to America. That's what I'm saying. And then we have to understand. We also have to touch on the fact that I just want to touch on this before. It's like a lot of stuff that you all act like just don't happen under the scenes. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of prejudgment that you all act like y'all. You know, it's not people.
The
don't
only person
prejudge
that's come
people.
up here prejudging anybody is you, dude.
How?
May I say something before?
By asking a white people.
Go ahead. Yeah, because Roscoe haven't spoken in a long time, and then Lady Bird barely got a few words in before you shut her down.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't want to hear what you were saying. Is that
well, Roscoe's a white guy. I know you want to hear from him.
I don't want to get away from the point of what I'm trying to get at, and the
so
point
we all
is,
agree that there are
Oh,
more
I was
white
gonna
people.
drive that point home.
I do appreciate you, Lady Bird. I didn't mean no disrespect by that at all. I do appreciate you. It was nothing disrespectful. I just feel like sometimes we lose sight of the actual physical point versus us just talking about a whole bunch of anything.
Hell, I'm still trying to figure out what the point was.
Yeah, I was gonna get to the point. I was gonna get to the point.
Go ahead. Let me hear. I want to hear Lady Bird, then I'm gonna hear Roscoe, because those two haven't gone yet. Go ahead, Bird Lady.
Yeah, what I was saying was, just to keep it short and sweet here, is I've experienced racism being in Macon, Georgia. Not Macon, Georgia, but Soperton, Georgia. I've experienced racism. I mean, look at me. I'm a black woman with dreads. I get stereotyped all the time. But the thing is,
you don't get stereotyped like a black man.
I may not get stereotyped like a black man, but that doesn't mean that me being stereotyped doesn't happen and it doesn't hurt just as much.
But do you think that
do
you think that other races fear women? Do you think that a man fears a woman in any race that she is? No man fears any woman.
when you ask that question, we have to look at what we put out there. Yes, there are other races that fear Black people, but look at what we put out there. Listen to a song,
You're right.
a rap song. Look at the movies that we make. All the movies, the Black movies that are made that make the most money, besides Black Panthers,
We
are
don't own
usually the
any
ones about
studios or film
usually.
equipment.
But who's paying to go see these movies? Boys in
Right.
the
You're
Hood,
right.
Menace to Society. So the information that we put out there about Black people is that we are aggressive. We are loud. We are ghetto. This is what the Black people who are like modern Renaissance man. You don't have a lot of Black people supporting a man like that. But you can have a rapper out here who's calling women bees and hoes and saying they got bodies on
Nah, I
them. And
support. I'm subscribed.
okay, you are, but
I just gave him
majority
$10.
aren't. Majority aren't. Majority
He
aren't.
totally missed her point.
Who makes the most money is the rappers out here that are calling women bees and hoes, and this is what we put out there as a Black community. So we
Hmm.
say there are other races that are afraid of us, but all the information that we push out there, it isn't information on how Black business owners are this. It's not information about how Black women are educated in that. Look at Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. They blew up from a song called WAP. People supported that. And then
Hmm.
you wonder why other races think Black women are hoes, because that's what we put out there. That's what our community
Yeah,
supports.
that's true. That's
So then
100% true. I agree with
right.
you.
So then if so that's what I'm saying. So when you said that white people support their community, Black people support our community too, but it's only when it comes to rapping and killing and
Degeneracy.
yeah, and that's
I
that's
mean, that's
praise.
not necessarily something that I agree with at all. But at the same time, for a lot of people, that was their only way out, first off. And then second off, it's like you got really white executives coming to the hood to find this type of stuff to pit on the radio. We don't own radio stations. We don't own distribution. We don't own any of these. We don't own this. Yes, there is
Dr.
a
Dre,
listen. Hold on. There is a negative element in the music, and it is destructive. But we
They
don't
don't own
own.
record labels.
Listen. We don't own the distribution. We don't own this 107.9, 103 in Atlanta. If you know Atlanta, then you know those are the radio stations that Black people listen to. We don't own those stations. We don't own BET. I'm,
So they
I'm
make you
just
they make so what's the
Pretty
point of
sure
that?
I'm
They do
Black
they
saying
do
Planet
they
that
does
do
is
they
a
though.
make
fact.
you
That
they
is a
make you
fact.
they make you listen to that music?
I'm saying that's my culture's music. I don't go out there and rob anybody or kill anybody, but that's my culture's music. So I hear it in the neighborhoods that I live in. So
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
even
Well,
that.
from my ancestry, ours is reggae, and it ain't nothing like this.
I mean, y'all,
It's-
that's a whole different country. That's an island. So, y'all had your own culture isolated, for a long period of time. We don't have a culture. You have a language, patois, right? We don't have a
Patois. Yep.
language. We don't have a language here. So, Black people don't have a culture. All we have is made up, thrown together, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So we had to make a culture. That's why everything is messed up. We actually had to construct and build a culture. We didn't actually
So let
we,
me
we
let me
don't
throw
know where
something
we're
else.
from.
Let me throw something else in there too, because I want to go back to what you said earlier about Black people don't have this, Black people don't have that. I don't know if you know this, but in the late
Okay.
1870s, when people were being freed from slavery, Black people increased 150% folds in becoming pharmacists and doctors and lawyers and store owners. They did all these things. And I'm not talking about people always want to go to Black Wall Street. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just overall period. Black people were married more than what white people were. And the only time you heard of a single Black mother is because she lost her husband and she was in her 30s, just like her white counterpart. So if Black
I mean,
people
I
were
know all
doing
this
all those,
information. I'm a
huh?
segregationist. I don't believe that. I still believe in segregation. I believe that it should be Black schools and white schools. You get me?
Woo, yeah,
There
that's
no,
you
not a
go.
no,
There you
no,
yeah,
no,
go.
you
no, no,
just
no,
told
no,
on
no,
yourself.
Yeah, I'm
You
no,
one of
just
those.
told you racist, dude.
no.
He
That's
just
not
nailed it, dude.
racism.
I said.
You racist, man.
Listen, that's not racism. We
Just
don't have a
just
Oh,
culture.
bro,
come
bro,
on.
Listen,
you
we don't
racist,
I
have a
didn't
man.
say
No,
culture.
that.
I'm black and
No.
I'm calling another black dude,
Listen,
bro. You racist,
Black
man.
people don't have a
That's not
culture.
that's not racist until it's a white man that says that he believes in
Yeah,
You
segregation.
are,
exactly.
No, that's not
Like I
racist
said,
either. That's
put
not
the
racist for
shoes.
y'all to take care of y'all people.
Let's
I've been
switch
saying that
shoes
the
here
whole
for a
time.
minute. And if I'd
It's
have
not
said
just
what he
racist for y'all
said,
to
saying,
then
take care
bro.
of
yeah.
y'all people.
You
But
racist, bro.
it's not racist for us to want our people to be taken care of too. So
No.
listen, by you saying, like, you're saying I'm racist, so basically if somebody says they're a black owned company, then they're racist too.
No, that's the dude. That's totally different than
What are
you
you
saying you
saying
believe in
then? Like, you see how
segregation,
y'all
dude.
blurring the line? Y'all blurring the lines, and I hate when,
No,
like,
man,
I hate
sir.
when I ain't even gonna. It's not disrespectful, but it's like older people. Y'all do not see what's like. Y'all don't really see fully what, like, from every angle. And I
They
be
see
honest.
through
Really?
BS, man.
Sir, I'm
That's what.
66
Thank
years
you.
old. I can see it from every angle.
I mean, it's so much stuff
Okay.
that you can't see though.
Don't no
You
bull.
it's so much stuff.
I
Like,
call
I
How old are
bull on
you?
listen.
that.
I
Number
How
walk.
old are
one.
you,
I go
Justin?
outside at night.
How old are you?
I actually see
How
the
old are you,
world, and I
buddy?
see what's happening, and I
How
see.
old are you? How old are you?
I am 31.
31. Okay. 31 don't know crap.
What
We
you
That's a
only
mean?
7 years
shame.
apart.
I
You
mean,
have started out
listen.
here, sir, by slapping a label on 60% of the population of the United States, and you don't
6.
even know them.
What are you
You
talking
don't
about?
know me.
6.
You, well, 80, 61, 3%. I don't care the number. But the majority, all the white people, you slapped a label on them as being racist. That was your comment.
It's not
Okay.
racist. I
Now,
didn't say it was
no,
racist.
yes, you did say racist.
I
Ty has put it
didn't.
up twice. Ty has put it up twice, and you should have read it. You said
He said
racist.
supremacist, which I meant
No,
majority.
no. That was a
I
conversation you was having with
clarified
the
it.
angry snowman.
I
Well, I'm
clarified
clarifying it right now, sir. You said
racism.
racist. You slapped a label racist
I
on
don't really
me.
believe in racism. I would really say.
Well, you do because you just
Okay,
said you believe in segregation. Now you
right.
I
can't
So
have
believe
your apple
I
and eat it
believe
here.
that our kids should be together, and y'all kids should be together. I believe
I
that.
believe
so
everybody's
What
equal.
does that accomplish
Okay,
by separating?
let's go ahead and
Listen,
say
we
that.
don't have. It divides the culture. It dilutes the culture. It waters down the culture. That's why.
wait. You
Listen,
just
hold
said that
on.
No,
black
it
people don't get a
doesn't.
culture.
No, it
You said
doesn't.
black. Wait, you
We
said that
don't
black
have enough.
people don't have a
No.
We don't know
culture.
enough about
So,
ourselves to turn into white people, basically.
Well,
but
again, you don't
again,
know enough about me
you,
to go ahead and slap a label on me by saying that I'm racist.
I
Look
didn't
where
say you
I'm
were
at right.
racist. I just said
Yes,
you
you
were the
did.
majority.
Yes, you
I said
did.
you were the
Yes, you
majority.
did. At the
No, I
beginning,
didn't.
by
I'm
that
telling
comment,
you now.
it
I
was
never
putting
y'all,
up.
said
okay,
it
I'm
was
okay,
telling
y'all.
racist.
you.
Let's
Let's go
take
ahead
a
and finish.
break.
Let me finish my comment real quick, and I'll
Go ahead.
Okay.
shut up. Okay. If I'm racist, okay, or if I'm white supremacist, or whatever label
Okay.
you choose to put on me, what am I doing on this channel right here, listening to this gentleman talk fact and truth?
I'm
If
saying
I
I'm
am
not saying
that,
that I'm not saying that you're
you
I'm not
said
saying
that.
that you're okay.
You said that,
Um
sir.
So
You've been turning
I
around
wanna.
stuff. You're very
I'm not
confused.
turning it around. I'm just
You are
I'm really
very
good at
confused.
So
vocabulary. So I'm
like
You need
telling
to
like
you
read
yeah.
the
more
words
books.
that I use. I'm really
No,
accurate
You
with my
really
words.
just
need to read more
hey
books. All
Justine,
due respect, Justin, I like you, but you need to read more books.
if you came
Okay.
into a let's just say if you came into one of my facilities and I had to
Mm-hmm.
treat you as a patient, if you came in there and your ankle is sprained and I told you that under the under the MRI, I see that you have torn 2 ligaments,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if you
Okay.
go around denying it all day long, you know what we usually do? We usually just say, okay, we're gonna let you ride with it. But bro, you just showed that you racist, man. You you just showed that you racist.
I just
Now
believe
look,
that
okay, when
everybody should take care of
Martin
their
Luther
own
King
people.
said we should judge a person according to their what? He said judge them according to their color. He
I mean,
said their
I don't
character,
know.
right? Not the
Content of their
content of their
character.
skin. So if that's the case, okay, Justine, if that's the case, what would happen if white people said, okay, well, since you want to believe in segregation, we about to send you on back to Africa? Because I guarantee you do not want to go there, Justine.
Then they got to go back to Europe.
No, we
They
talking about
came
black
here.
people. Though. No,
I'm
I
no.
ain't
saying,
going
You're
nowhere.
the one.
Wait,
No,
y'all.
I'm
you're
Listen,
the
saying,
listen.
one. You're the
Time
one who
out.
wants
I
to
don't look. I don't
segregate.
want to
and
mute
this
everybody,
is
but I will.
my people
I don't want to
died
mute
here.
everybody. I don't
So
want to mute everybody,
listen,
but what I'm saying is this.
my people were
Justine,
enslaved here and died here, and my
You
people are
said
on a continent before
these people on this
pre-Columbus.
panel right now, they didn't
So it's
say
nothing
they
you can
wanted
tell me.
segregation. You said you want segregation. So
I
if you
do.
want segregation, you want the separation. So then you go back, not them. They didn't
How
say
can I
they
go
wanted to go
back
back.
to a place I've
Huh?
never been? How can I go back to somewhere I didn't
Hey,
come
I
from?
can get a GoFundMe right now. We can pay. We can get you. I can.
I'm saying,
We can send
how
you
can I go back? How can I go
an
back?
airplane.
This is my country, though.
What? I'm
Where would I
confused.
go back
Okay,
to?
Justine.
This is
What,
my
Justine?
country.
Let me ask you this real quick. No, I'm for real. I'm not. Of course, I'm a real fun person, as you can see.
What are you
But
talking about?
Justine, out of all of this, what do Justine Murray? What does Justine want? That's what I want to know.
I already got what I wanted. I just wanted white people to admit that they were the majority. That was my question.
So pretty much, you telling me this was a math problem this whole time?
Yes, that's why I told you. Like, we're going into a whole tangent, and I just wanted white people to admit that they're the majority, and that, you know, it's some elements that
So
it
you
just
just want to know that you just want to know that 60 plus 12 is 72, but the 60 is white. That's all.
yeah, that's the majority.
Justine, bye. What you?
I want to apologize to everybody for going off a little bit there.
Hey, Ty, just so you know, tomorrow I'm probably going to do a show, and I'm going to let some of my guys from that I rock with from Hood and SKC and Trades channels come up and let them go over what we just witnessed.
Ty's busy laughing right now. He's got his funny bone tickled.
This boy that took us on an hour tangent over a common core problem. What the heck is going on? Oh no, I'm messing with Justine. No, he's still, oh, man, Justine, boy. I think you was on the Cosby Show. Justine, dude, what was that? Justine, my friend. No, Justine, I hope you do come back though, man. But you know what? Again, a lot of times we go live like this, we got different people from different things that come in. I know a lot of people are trying to say that he was trolling, but ladies and gentlemen, understand this. God always have certain things come up in certain ways for us all to be able to witness certain things. And we just got to see right there, and our question just got answered. And the question that I'm asking, the question I'm getting ready to say right now that has gotten answered is, can black folks be racist? Yes, they can, because Justine just proved it. So there it is. Dude, that was, man, Justine, my friend.
Look, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Man, okay, we got a few people that's right here on the back burner right there. I see well, now they disappeared. But wow, that was pretty interesting right there. I gotta say, Justine, I do hope you come back and on some of these other topics that we're gonna have on here. I know that a lot of people are here confused, man, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not saying this to be mean. Hey, all kudos to you if you went out and started your own business, whatever like that. I would like to have known what your business was so I can tell people you do not want to go and work for him because he's racist. So just if you don't have it, if you better have all black people working for you, because if you not, I'm calling you out on that, Justine. No, let me stop. But no, for real though. I believe
he's a business owner personally.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the things that he was saying right there just didn't add up. He couldn't certain.
Well, he said he's not working right now. He's 31 years old. What's up with that?
Yeah,
you know,
so he's a business owner that don't work.
I think he said that he wasn't working for any.
He wasn't working for anybody.
He wasn't working for anyone else.
Yeah, and
he had his own business.
I misunderstood.
Well, yeah, and then on top of that too, though, is that for him to what Justine was saying, I get it, but at the same time, his business that he started, that he has right now, he most likely got his loan to do that from somebody that's white. Yeah,
that couldn't have happened. No.
Nah, yeah, he got it from or a black prince from Africa. Maybe he got a loan from one of the Nigerians that hustle people from over in Africa or something. But yeah, so anyway, I don't know how we got that far into it, but this definitely has been a very, very entertaining conversation thus far.
When this chat gets sidetracked, it goes all the way, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
didn't go off the rails, but it was definitely on the wrong track.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I like about this, though, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Before we sign off, because I'm gonna have all you guys say something before we check out of here. I do appreciate everybody's input in here, whether we agree with it or not. And like I said, what we were talking about earlier, I let you guys all know that, a lot of times, what you guys all know, the reason why I sit back and I let people try to get their point across is I do this because I always go into a conversation with the mindset. And I kid you guys not, and I think this is something that just helps me. Even though Justine had what he had to say, I still sit back and put myself in the mindset of what is it that I can try to learn from this person? And better yet, I also put myself in the mind frame of I want this person to keep on going on as much as they can, because the more I let them go on, the more I get to actually see how this person is, where their head is. I get to actually, they display themselves to me. So I just got done talking to you guys earlier about how spirits manifest themselves in certain ways. So, I mean, I'm not trying to come down on Justine, but it's obvious that you are operating with some confusion there and with some seducing spirits, they call it doctors of devils or doctrines that actually tickle Ben's ears, whatever, because he said, you know the Bible better than I do, but apparently you seem like you really didn't know the Bible, because you said the Ethiopian Bible, all kind of stuff you said. So my point in saying that, though, is that I'm glad all of us got to do this. I'm glad that we got people in here from different countries, from different states, that you guys are stating your opinion. I think it's a lovely thing, because actually what we are doing right here, right now, is exactly what we need to be doing, is what we should be doing. Because one thing about this, somebody would take what we did right here, and they would try to say that all the white people in here, well, look at you guys, y'all were usurping your white supremacy upon that black guy that was in here, because y'all, and I'm glad that y'all spoke up. I'm glad that y'all held your own. I'm glad that y'all was like, no, you're not going. That's exactly how it's supposed to be, because in the real world, this is what the media don't want. They want white people to feel like you on eggshells. Don't speak up for yourself. You better not say nothing, because if there's a black person you're talking to, you know they're gonna. So on my channel, we letting it ride right there, and I do not care about what anybody has to say about me, as you guys all know, as the Uncle Tom has stated right there. But I will say this as well, to prove my sister, and I'm not saying it because she black. I call everybody sis and bro in here. So to prove my point, where Bird Lady speaks, when she said about how my channel is one particular way, but if I was like up here cussing, doing a lot of that and rapping, showing twerk and stuff and all this, black people would jump on board with that. But according to the almost 300,000 subscribers that I have on my channel, 20% of them are black. So if that's not telling you something, I'm not, and y'all the ones that been following me for a while, I'm pushing health. I'm pushing, you can go out there and get your own. I'm pushing, I can help you sign up for college and get in college. I'm pushing all this. And yet my channel is, I guess, not Roscoe, but Justine, one thing you will be right about with my channel, it is 80% white.
Your channels exhibits white supremacy.
I mean, right. But it's okay. Like my channel is black ran, but white supremacy there. So anyway, y'all, I'll go and let everybody kind of sign off, and I'll start with you, Roscoe, then I'll go to Angry Man, then to the Texan, and I see that I still got Dante and Emak Buktunat and Double Brewski in here. So go ahead, Roscoe. Sign off and let the people know what you think. You can sum it up how you want to, and it's all yours right now.
First off, I want to go and apologize, because he turned my key a little bit, and I normally don't get that loud or defensive, but no.
It's good.
No. He's slapping a label on me, and I don't like that, because I don't do that to other people. That said, again, I want to express my appreciation for you having this chat and this platform and everything. It can be interesting. It can be very interesting. I mean, tonight was great, Bird Lady. You were fantastic. I hate that he walked on you and cut you off, because, like I say, you were going. The Texan, good to see you in here, buddy. Anger Snowman, I'll see you later. Everybody that's out there in the main chat, I'll talk to y'all later. Be in there in a little bit, and we'll see you next time.
All right, Roscoe. Appreciate you being here, sir. Have a blessed night.
Thanks, sir.
Well, the only thing I have to say is this is why I promote and push for nuclear families to be more talked about and be the thing that people push it, rather than this whole separated family, single mama, single daddy thing that we got going on in this country. This is what single parent families produce: confusion, plain and simple. All the confusion that we see running rampant all across this country, with people not knowing where they're from, what they are, what their gender is, what their whatever is. This is what single parent families produce. If you want to get your country back, stop glorifying this stuff. Stop making this the norm. Stop saying that this is okay. Stop championing the people that are doing this stuff, and call it out for what it is: degeneracy.
Absolutely.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ty, for letting me come up and speak my piece. I didn't get to hear you talk, Dante, but I heard you before I came up on the platform, so it's nice talking to you, Bird Lady. Once again, like everyone else said, I wish we could have heard you speak a little bit more. You were a bit of a silent one. Texan, it was nice meeting you. Everybody out in the chat, man, nice to see you all again. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like the channel and share it. And if you feel so kind, show the brother some love. Give him a little bit of that hard-earned cheddar, man, since he goes out of his way to put on these wonderful shows for you, man, to where we get to witness things like this happen.
Much appreciated, man. Much appreciated.
Yep. Take it easy, buddy.
All right, you too. God bless. All right, the Texan.
Oh man, dude, I'll tell you what. I gotta say, to be honest with you, I've been sitting here fanboying like crazy, and I don't do that, man. I don't. I've been watching you for a long time, man. You are a damn good man. That's all I got to say. I watch everything you do, and I love your reaction videos, and I love when you get real and you get raw like you've done tonight, man. Thank you so very much for having me on, dude. It means a lot to me to be able to join this panel of intellectuals. I mean, it's an honor. It really is. It really is. But yeah, man. In a nutshell, I'm an American. I'm an American, flat out. Doesn't matter what color my skin is. I'm an American, and when you join the United States military, the very first thing they teach you is you're not white, you're not black, you're not brown, you're freaking green. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and we're Americans, man, and we're all in this together. So be a victim if you want to be a victim. It's all up to you, or be successful if you want to be successful, because this is still the greatest nation on God's green earth, as far as I'm concerned. And you can't prove me wrong, because I'll take you to task on it.
I heard that.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that right there, I'm just going to say thank you so very much, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. And
Absolutely.
God bless y'all. God bless America. And I'll see you down the road.
All right, the Texan. All right, we'll see you again. Hopefully I get to see you back in here, sir. You have a blessed night.
Is it on me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Just want to say I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed everything, and just want to say, you guys, with our brother Justin, don't be too hard on him. Just keep him in prayer. Keep him in prayer. Because there is a spirit of confusion, and now sometimes God would allow us to see certain things, not for us to make fun of it, but for us to go into prayer about it. So let's just keep him lifted up in prayer. And I wanted to make a comment earlier about there are some ways that you can go to school free. I'm going to school free. My job is paying for my education. So there are some resources out there. If you do want to go to school and you don't want to spend the finances, I mean, there are a lot of researchers out there, a lot of resources out there. You just have to research them. So just wanted to say that, and that I just enjoyed everybody. Um, Very educational. Even the young lady that came up, it started with, her name started with a T. I'm like, that's a real woman.
Yeah.
That's a real
T-Win.
woman right there. That's a
Yes.
real woman right there. So I love seeing that, because you don't see that often. And that's kind of why I was late getting on, because my husband goes in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was up fixing his breakfast. I got his breakfast, lunch, dinner, packed up, snacks, everything.
Ooh, what you
But
say?
you don't see that anymore. But I just enjoyed everybody. And again, in the chat, y'all, let's continue to show forth love, when people don't agree with or think the way that we think, because a lot of times there is something else going on. And with us, who knows Jesus, who knows the word of prayer, who knows how to intercede, we really can make a difference. And that person, you may see them a month later, and they may be talking completely different, and
Mm-hmm.
that prayer work, because prayer does work. The blood of Jesus still works.
That's
But
right.
thank you, guys. I enjoyed it. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Hope to see you back again, sis. Much
Yes, sir.
appreciated.
All right.
All
Yes, sir.
right. Mr. Dante.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be real quick. This was very, very interesting. I'm gonna tell you this conversation that just took place about an hour or so ago. But with Justine, what I realized with him, he has a lot of pain, and you can hear it come through when he's speaking. Past experiences, we've all had bad experiences in life, but we can't stay stuck there. I don't care where we come from. Yeah, we may have come from Africa. We're here now. And so what I look at now is I have to make the best of what I have. I don't care about you being black, white, or whatever. And I will say this to Justine: if you want to go to heaven, there's no segregation there. No, ain't no black part, there's no white part. You got to understand that we're all a part of the human race. And so whatever happened in the past is just that. What we can do is learn from the past and do better with our future, because we're not an island to ourselves. We're a big country. We need each other. I don't care if I'm in trouble on the side of the road and my car breaks down. I don't care if you white, Mexican, black, or whatever. If I need help, I need you to help me. So we got to get out of this colorism stuff, because it really doesn't matter. Like I said, I believe in supporting your own. I support my own family, That's where my support goes when it comes to supporting my own. But at the same time, I have compassion. I have benevolence, where I don't mind sharing with other people. If I have it, I will give to a white person on the side of the street, just like a black person on the side of the street. It shouldn't be about color. It should be about love. And if we say we have God in our heart, God is love. We believe in the Bible. We believe in the Bible. We don't go and pull from these different doctrines and have things confusing, because I think some people may hear this and they'll run and say, okay, well, the Ethiopian Bible says this, and can throw them off. So like I said, man, we're 144,000. Again, we got that's what he just said in the chat. But I'm telling you this, man, Justine, we love you. We praying for you, man. Nobody's sitting on no soapbox thinking we have it all together. As long as we're living, we have an opportunity to do better. So I just want to, say, Todd, thank you for allowing me to be on the panel again. This is a very interesting conversation. I've learned some stuff, and I definitely appreciate you, man. Big guy.
Absolutely, bro. And also, what's the name of your channel, Dante, so they can come over there and check it out?
You ask me that every time. I'll put it in the chat.
There you go. So look in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, for Dante's channel. He do some talking over there with some personal, how we done right here. He talk about certain issues that's going out there in society. So he's getting ready to post, and I want y'all to check it out. And Dante, appreciate those words there, sir. All right, now we got. Okay, I'm gonna go to Double Brewski. Wait, because I think he was turned off for a second. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to I'm okay, but you're not.
Right, that's me.
Oh, all right. What say you in this whole thing? What's your summary?
Oh my goodness. Well, the first thing I want to say is I appreciate you letting me come up on the panel. I really did.
I ain't trying to cut you off. You sound like my people in Florida. Go ahead.
Okay. But I would have loved to have had a chance to talk with Justin or Justine, whichever, just for a minute. I was listening to what was being said, and I have to agree with Dante. I think that somewhere along the lines, he's been hurt, and hurt pretty badly. I think that he's also terribly, terribly confused. And I was wanting so bad to be mad with him. But the more I listened, the less I could be. My heart goes out to him. I mean, it really does. But he's also a product of, what would you call it? The morals or lack thereof of today. The nuclear family is under attack big time. The schools are nothing more than indoctrination stations.
Yeah.
Children are being taught things that ought not be taught to them. The schools are trying to take control over things that parents should have control over. You have children having children, and there's a mama there, but there's no daddy. If they're lucky, there's a grandma there. And a lot of the times, the grandma ends up raising the child. That's not only in the Black community. There are those in white communities. I've seen those too. I used to work for a government agency in a, I guess you'd call it a customer service type of position, and I saw an awful lot of things in my time there. I saw a lot of things that just broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of things that just made me very angry. But unless we stand up and start regaining control of these things like the schools and the horrible things that they teach in our children, like, It was first, it started with handing out condoms in schools because it's okay to have. I'm just, I'm just really, it's okay to go lay down with whoever or whatever you want to. It's gone from that, and we thought, it can't get any worse. Yeah, it can. It has, and it will get worse still if we don't stand up. We've got to. And we've also got to try to chew back some of our anger and start really looking inside some of the people that are espousing some of these things and really seeing, they're not really bad people. They're not really hateful people. But somewhere along the line, somebody has piped some of this stuff in, and they're really hurting. If we don't have just a little bit of compassion, it can't all be, all right, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fight you over it. It's got to be tempered with compassion.
That's right.
We're not being shown that because, again, it's that agenda. That's one of the things that we have on our side that I really don't think they're capable of, if that makes sense.
No, I know. Right? Yep, it does. I know exactly what you're saying.
But anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I've been long enough. But I did enjoy the live stream. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and listen to some of what I missed. And I enjoy your channel as well.
Wow, much appreciated. And I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully you will come back in again. And when I see your name in there, I'll make sure that you're able to jump in and get in on this. So hopefully we will see you again, sis.
It
Absolutely.
was nice. It was so nice getting to finally meet you anyway. And y'all take care and have a good night, okay?
You do the same. All right. God bless this. All right. Deborah Brewski, sir. What say you in all this, sir? What's your summary?
Sorry, my computer just glitched out and I barely heard you. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said? You said?
Well, it just glitched out for a sec. My laptop's a piece of junk, so yeah,
okay.
Whatever. Hey, I actually feel kind of cheated. I was stuck at a work meeting for an hour and I missed like the whole beginning, so now I got to go back and watch it. And work meeting. Anyways, yeah, it was a great panel. Looked pretty interesting. I kind of understand Justine's point. It is a majority white country, and there are bad apples that still have old ideas that look down on other people of different races. I experience it all.
Uh-oh.
Well, maybe other races, especially in my community, Hispanics, because, you need to learn, if he's in this country, he needs to learn how to speak the language. It's like, guy probably just got here. You don't even know his story. You don't know. So there are incidents where there is overt racism. I've witnessed it as a white man. There are other white men that have basically shown it to me because they're not trying to hide it. So I understand that there's that perspective that, yes, there are people out there that really, they're going to look down on you for the color of your skin, the state of your clothing, the car you drive. There are people who are going to look down on you for one reason or another. And I can understand that maybe he's had some bad experiences that kind of, make him think that, white guys are trying to oppress other people. Most of us Americans, we're just trying to live our lives, man. We just want to have food, clothing, shelter, love, happiness, a cold beer and a warm meal. Most of us are just trying to get by. And there's a thing that came up a few months ago in my town, and I kind of wanted to throw this out there. So there was a police officer that, I'm not going to go into super big details, but he did some bad, crashed his squad car, and ended up getting fired. Now, the guy who told me about that was one of my white friends. He said, "Hey, did you hear about so-and-so?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, what happened?" And he told me the whole detail. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like, I don't really remember the guy. I've never really interacted with him. And my white friend says, dude, that guy pulled me over so many times, and he's just like the biggest a-hole on the police force. A couple hours later, working at the shop, black dude comes in, great customer, super nice, and he brought it up. Hey, did you hear about Officer so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, just heard about it this morning. He goes, man, that guy pulled me over a bunch of times. And this black dude saying, he's all, man, that guy was so racist. I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to sound insensitive. Did the black man who had bad interactions with this police officer perceive this cop as racist because of those bad interactions? And did he say anything that was overtly racist? Did he say anything that was, against him? Or was the guy just an a-hole to everybody? Because both my white friend and my black friend both said this guy was as an a-hole. It's like, do a lot of black people get bad incidents with other white people and assume it's racism that's the cause of it? Or is the guy literally just an a-hole? And it's something I wanted to ask Justine. I wanted to put that out there. It's like, not, if somebody overtly called him the N-word, yeah, that's definitive. Absolutely. Screw that guy. He's an idiot. Because we are all members of the human race. And that's really the important part I wanted to get to. I did want to kind of end this with a brief story, just something a little funny. So at my shop, there was a Hispanic guy that worked there for 15 years. Good tech guy. He'd fix people's laptops, whatever. Super nice guy. He's taught himself English within 6 months of moving to this country. Super smart guy. Well, anyways, there was this black customer that used to come in. I haven't seen him in a while, but his name was Ricky. And he, had the hat sideways, sagging his pants, gold chain, just kind of fitting that little stereotype of a rapper. But they used to go back and forth. Him and Armando would go back and forth, just like kind of ragging on each other all the time. One day, with a whole crowd of people in the store, black dude Ricky yells out, Armando just called me the N-word. And everybody stops and looks, and he goes, he called me a ninja. And so after that, the running joke was, what's up, my ninja? Ninja, please.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, just.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I told a joke last time I was on. I had to do another one.
End it like that. Yeah, now you're going to have people expecting you to do it now every time you sign off now.
Man, I'm going to become one of your regulars. You just watch, man. I'm going to be on here all the time, and I'm going to end everything with a joke.
That's fine, man. That's totally fine, man.
Anyways, you have a good night.
All right, we'll catch you next time. Hey, you said you don't want to talk. I just want to say that in case you just want to promote your gun shop or nothing like that. But if you're not ready to do that yet, that's completely fine, though.
Be honest with you, I actually want to keep this completely separate because I don't want anything to come back. I mean, I'm a guy. I have my own opinions. I have strong opinions about certain things. I don't want anything. I don't want to mention the town I work in specifically. I don't want to mention the shop just in case. It's a small shop. It's family owned and operated. I don't want them to get involved in anything political. We had actually posted the on our sign out front about the recall of Governor Kate Brown because we can't stand her. She's rated the worst governor in the nation. I had actually flurbed on that the last time I was on. I said the worst governor in Oregon. No, she's voted the worst governor in the nation. And we had the sign out front, and I actually had a gal call the shop, and she goes, "Excuse me, are you guys posting the petition to recall Governor Kate Brown?" And I'm like, well, yes, we are, thinking it was somebody that wanted to come in and sign it. And she goes, would you consider removing that petition? I'm like, why would I want to do that? And she says, well, she's our duly elected governor. And of course, you always think of the best response after the fact. I was like, oh, so I'm sure you support Donald Trump because he's our duly elected president. But I didn't think of that till later. But anyways, I'm like, well, she's done a lot of bad things, and a lot of people don't agree with her politics. And, most Oregonians and southern part are tired of her. And she goes, well, what makes you say that? And I started reading all the grievances on the back of the petition to her. She goes, well, that's just somebody's opinion. And I'm like, yeah, it happens to be an opinion I share. And she says, well, are you going to remove the petition? I said, absolutely not. And she goes, well, we're from a group of Democrats in your local area, and we're boycotting every business that has that petition. And I'm like, well, you're a Democrat. You're not coming to me to buy guns anyway.
Right. So it's like, no love us.
But yeah, thanks again for having me on. Appreciate it. Like I said, I'm sorry I missed the first half. I'm going to go back and rewatch it. But once again, man, thank you so much for having me on. Dante, Roscoe, Bird Lady, all you guys great. Even Justine. Hey, man, I wish you all the best in life, every single one of you. I love this channel. I love being a part of this community. Like I said, I'm going to try to get my own YouTube channel. I'm going to keep it separate from work. But once again, thank you for giving me a platform to come on and hopefully not look too stupid.
All right, man. You have a blessed night then, sir.
You too.
All right. All righty, folks. Shout out to Double Brewski there for throwing his input in there. Shout out to everybody else that was in the chat tonight that gave their input in on this, and even Mr. Justine as well. So, Justine, I do hope you come back in here and we can talk about some other things. There might be some topics that I might bring up that you can get in on. And with that being said, folks, I appreciate everybody in here. I was not able to get a lot of you guys' comments. Do me a favor, though, seriously. There is almost 300 people in here. It's showing right now, unless YouTube got a bunch of bots. But double check to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Also, don't forget to get the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. You guys will be the reason why this gets out there. So I'm going to sum it up by saying we got to see a lot of things tonight, and I'm glad that I'm able to use this software right now to not only just interact with a lot of people, but also just to see that there are different folks out there that we all don't think alike. And see what I'm saying? Even with Justine, what he said, the Texan, what he said, Roscoe, what he said, the Bird Lady, all these different perspectives is the reason why I love America so much. I like the fact that we all are not on the same page. I like the fact that we all don't think alike. I like the fact that we all don't look alike. We all don't dress alike. We all don't want the same things. But if we also stand by what this country is named, I think that right there will further us into better everything, better community, better prosperity, and that's being united, the United States of America. But we will not get anywhere if we put a D in place of the U and call it the divided states of America, right? We can be divided on our religion. We can be divided on our perspective. We can be divided on our talks. We can be divided on a lot of things, but I don't know if y'all ever experienced this before. If any of you have any siblings, any brothers, any sisters or cousins, but you do know that if somebody tries to mess with your cousin, everybody jumps in to go after that person that's messing with their relative, right? What am I saying that for? With your own brothers and your sisters and your cousins, how many of y'all have ever argued with them? How many of y'all ever fought with them physically? How many of you guys, y'all don't drink the same thing? Y'all don't eat the same thing. Y'all don't like the same music. Y'all don't dress the same way. But if somebody messes your family member, all of y'all family come together like, we getting ready to get you, not ours. So I'm saying that because that's exactly how we need to be in the United States. No, we're all not going to be the same. We're all not going to think the same. We're all not going to eat the same. We're all not going to want the same woman. We're all not going to want the same man. We're all not going to drink the same thing. We're all not going to have the same religion. But what we all should have something in common is when there is a common enemy that's trying to come in and destroy that very awesome thing that we have, we all should unite against that and not sit there and fight amongst each other on it. So again, look at tonight as a lesson that we're all family who was in here bickering, throwing jokes, throwing shots, disagreeing, shutting each other off, some over talking, some not over talking, getting angry. That's what family do. That's what I want y'all to take from this, is that we sat there and did this on this panel as if it was a family. But our enemy is the ones that's actually trying to destroy that very thing that we have. They're trying to destroy our differences. They don't want us to have no differences. They trying to destroy our likes. They don't want us to have us. They want us to like what they want us to like. They want to destroy the very foundations for the reasons why we have what we have right here. They don't want that. That's what we need to put our focus on, ladies and gentlemen. And if we do that, then it's going to be an easy fight. Do not give up, America. We are actually the majority, and it showed tonight, plain and simple. We are the majority. So what I want y'all to do is to just stay focused on the fact that we are Americans. Yes, there are some black ones, there are some white ones, there are some Latino ones, there are some all kind of different creeds. But do not take our eyes off of the ones that's literally trying to destroy that very unit. All right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how I do any chats. Y'all know how I end them all. I'm Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.